Twice a year, 155,000 race fans congregate around a half-mile racetrack in Northeast Tennessee. Today, under bright sunshine, the NASCAR Winston Cup Series returns to Bristol Motor Speedway for the Food City 500 presented by WrenchHead.com. Hi, everyone. I'm Bob Jenkins. Welcome to Bristol, the first of 6 short track races this year. In the first 5 races of the year 2000, we have seen the champions and the point leaders have problems. We've seen the reemergence of some veterans, and we have had 5 different winners so far. Last week, a driver taking the checkered flag for only the 2nd time in his career. And now we come to Bristol, where literally anything can happen.
Last week at historic Darlington, Wartburton's Caterpillar Pontiac plowed through the competition to become this season's 5th different winner. This week, Winston Cup champion Dale Jarrett and points leader Bobby Labonte can expect even less mercy here at brutal Bristol, where past frustrations have prompted both to attempt the high bank helmet toss. Last August, Dale Jarrett's spin could have turned his title hopes around, but credit his Ford team with quality care and quick repairs. Bobby's Bristol adventures include seeing his battery car battered, beaten, and broken, time and again from purely bad luck. Today, these 2 title contenders hope this half-mile high-bank concrete cage shows a little respect to a champion and points leader who have certainly paid their dues. Neither Dale Jarrett or Bobby Labonte would disagree that the primary focus here is simply survival. If you can just finish this stock car slugfest and somehow stay on the lead lap, you're almost assured of a top 15 spot in the final rundown. In 14 previous starts, though, Bobby Labonte has yet to log a top 5 finish. In fact, he has finished 25th or worse in his last 4 visits here. Ouch. As for Dale Jarrett, his 37th place finish last August is the exception rather than the rule. Jarrett boasts a win and no finish worse than 6th in his other 9 most recent starts. These are 2 of NASCAR's most talented drivers, each noted for their poise and patience, yet with totally different records and results at the same track. Explain it? All I can say is, it's Bristol.
7-time NASCAR Winston Cup champion Dale Earnhardt and his car owner Richard Childress have presented a formidable challenge to all comers since they got back together in 1984. 6 championships, 66 wins, and the reputation of intimidation. Now they come to Bristol, where Earnhardt scored his first career Winston Cup win in '79. It's a track where Earnhardt's success is surpassed by only 2 other drivers. He's won 9 times on the high banks of the Bristol Motor Speedway, including last summer's unforgettable bump and run under the lights. It was vintage Earnhardt, although it turned off some of the sport's newest fans. But like him or not, when you come to Bristol, the man in black is one of the drivers to beat. Last summer, Earnhardt became only the 2nd driver to win a race here at the Bristol Motor Speedway after pitting on the backstretch. Last spring, he started shotgun on the field after wrecking his primary car in happy hour and having to go to a backup. He still managed a top 10 finish in that race. Today, he has no handicaps after qualifying 11. So you can expect the Intimidator to be up front at the end as he continues his pursuit of a record 8th championship.
They are dedicated and motivated champions looking for wins. Crew chiefs desperately searching for motorsports magic. In the haze and heartbreak of the new year, 2000 has not been too nice for man, machine, or the committed mechanic. But stubborn Bristol brings the smiling acknowledgement of past accomplishments, where the bare essentials of success ignited the climb to the top. Photographs that are too golden to tarnish. At stock car racing's most colorful track, its most colorful heroes have been kissed with good fortune. From the raging grill to the victorious thrill, racers know big wins come at short tracks. And not to be taken lightly, the defending race champions who are here to defend their honor.
Rusty Wallace is 43 years old. Today, he hopes to turn 50. He has 49 career victories, and 7 of them have come right here at this track. But lately, the wins have not come so easily for the former series champion. So today, in a brand new car at one of his all-time favorite tracks, Wallace wants to show his fans and his foes they're not seeing an older Rusty Wallace. They're going to see the Rusty Wallace of old. Jeff Gordon is 28 years old, but he too hopes to turn 50 today. 4 of his 49 victories have been at Bristol. Without a doubt, his next win will be one of his biggest wins. Now, can it happen at one of Stock Car Racing's smallest tracks? We'll see. 43 cars ready to race as the season-long chase for the Winston Cup Championship roars on. Now, here are our two champions, Benny Parsons and Ned Jarrett.
One thing that creates such problems for these 43 drivers is the speed around this Bristol Motor Speedway. If they average like 105 to 110, it wouldn't be much of a problem. But they're going to average somewhere between 115 and 120 miles per hour. Ned, 36 degrees, that kind of speed is a recipe for disaster.
Oh, I'll tell you, it really is, Benny. They circle around this thing in 16 seconds or less. 43 cars on a half-mile track is disastrous many times. I tell you, if you have the rare ability to be aggressive, smooth, and patient, and can stay out of trouble out there, make good pit stops, and are one of the very few drivers who don't have any major bucks on their race car at the end of this race, you might have a shot at winning.
And so the sixth race of the 2000 NASCAR Winston Cup season is about ready to roll with Bobby Labonte on top of the point standings, but by just 9 over Martin. Stewart and Elliott are tied for 6th. Ricky Rudd is 26 positions higher than at this time last year. Rusty Wallace has 7 wins at this facility. And we are just about ready to get this event underway as we get the 4 most important words in the sport of auto racing to fire up the 43 cars set to go.
The head football coach at Virginia Tech is Frank Beamer. Gentlemen, start your engines.
The cars fire to life. 500 laps await the 43 drivers that have been chosen to race here this afternoon. And ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, and the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, NASCAR, invite you to settle back and enjoy the always entertaining and exciting Winston Cup racing from Bristol Motor Speedway.
I'm a child care director. In the summer, I drive buses and vans. We have a blast on these field trips. It's just as much fun for me as it is for them. Parents are entrusting me with the safety of their children. We have to make sure we keep great tires on the van. We trust Walmart to service our vehicles. They have name brand tires and they have great prices, and I guarantee nationwide. That's one reason we bought them.
Brand name tires, oil changes, and more at Walmart Tire and Lube Express.
Because it's pretty precious cargo.
Americans love power. And they love their high-performance Briggs & Stratton engines. That's why just about every neighborhood in America is a Briggs & Stratton neighborhood. Briggs & Stratton. The power that works for you.
Styling of the Vulcan 1500 Drifter takes you back to another time. The engineering makes sure you don't get stuck there. Vulcan, only from Kawasaki.
ESPN's coverage of the Food City 500 presented by WrenchHead.com. Being brought to you by the irresistible taste that makes you say, did somebody say McDonald's? By Briggs & Stratton, the power that works for you. And by Kawasaki Motorcycles. Let the good times roll. We'll go 500 laps here this afternoon at Bristol Motor Speedway. The purse exceeds $2.3 million, and the race record was set way back in 1977 by Cale Yarborough. Now let's look at our Walmart Tire and Loop Center starting grid. On the front row, Steve Park with his very first NASCAR Winston Cup pole position in his 62nd race, and Kenny Wallace, who won the pole here in the fall race in 1997. As we take a look at the rest of the starting lineup, we saw something on an onboard camera just before we went to break that reminds the driver to stay calm, and I guess that's the key here in the first few laps. Huh?
Don't lose your temper, particularly early on in the race, because you will suffer consequences. And when they throw the green flag, it's going to be such a scramble, these cars trying to get down in turn one and get on the bottom of the racetrack.
And the early part of the race, bottom of the racetrack will be the place. If the groove will move up as time goes by, but staying down there early, getting down there early, could save you a lot of positions.
And Ed, we heard some drivers say during NASCAR today that really one of the top priorities of those starting here in the back of the field in the early laps is to keep from getting a lap down.
And it's so easy to do here. They lap this track in 16 seconds or less, and you get held up just a little bit. It don't take long. The leaders will be coming around, so that's very, very important. Just try to stay on the lead lap.
As a matter of fact, if you're half second slower, 1/2 second slower than the leader, that means in 30 laps, he's going to be lapping you. Just 30 laps.
The provisional starters include Rick Mast and Wally Dallenbach, who is in his 200th NASCAR Winston Cup start, and Jeff Fuller, a rookie here. Dave Marcus, Ricky Craven, Ed Barrier, and Scott Pruitt failed to qualify for the event. The pace car is in, and now the crowd of 155,000. And we are underway at Bristol. Several cars involved, including Elliott Sadler, who was the fastest during happy hour.
And Dale Earnhardt Jr. spun around. They all get away, it looks like.
Everybody is rolling as the pace car picks up the field. There's the damage on Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car, and you can see some damage there on the left front of Elliott Sadler.
And the left rear also. It looks like he spun around, hit the wall with the left rear and the left front. We'll check and see what we have going down in one. There we see Dale Earnhardt in the 3 car. Goes in the corner, just gets in the left rear of Elliott Sadler, spins him around. Up the racetrack he goes now. Joe Nemechek gets into Dale Earnhardt Jr. and spins him around. And there you see the contact with the outside retaining wall.
And from the onboard camera with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Who's running the floor on the outside. There he gets hit by Joe Nemechek. Earnhardt Jr. was not up beside of his dad, but he was on the high side of the racetrack at that time.
Darrell Waltrip is in the pit area, the winningest driver, active driver here at Bristol Motor Speedway with 12 victories.
I suspect he's flat-spotted his tires. He probably put the brakes on and flat-spotted the tires, and it looks like they're beating out the sheet metal, so he got hit by someone. So they're taking this opportunity to come in and get some adjustments. Bill?
Earnhardt Jr. on pit road, significant damage to the left front of this car. They're going to put on more tires, send him back out, have him patch the field, then they'll bring him back in and pull some more of that sheet metal away.
So Elliott Sadler moves out, and so does Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Darrell Waltrip. Well, just after they had completed the first lap, we had trouble up in turn number 2. Elliott Sadler, Dale Earnhardt, and others involved in a crash, not surprisingly, at Bristol.
Are you still using the same old internet service, the one that's always giving you a busy signal, that always makes you wait? Wouldn't it be great to go online at a high speed? You can do that now with high-speed cable modem internet access from GS Communications. Take the fastest ride to the internet with GS Cyclone. Call GS Communications today at 1-800-486-6822 to get on the fastest track to the internet with GS Cyclone.
4, 3, 2, 1. The future is now with GS Digital Cable.
Afterwards, the last thing you want to do is talk to the media. But we're professionals. We do our job.
Like Dan doesn't step on everyone's lines every show, whether it's me or whether it's whatever the guy's name is used to the show. But I mean, you know, he's always doing that, and it's his show.
Yeah, it's the greatest job in the world. That's what I tell you guys. But when I go home, I go into a little shell. I go down to my basement, and I sit there, and I just think. I think, what am I doing with my life?
You know, Robert Yates, Todd Parrott, the whole 88 team, they're not just people I work with, they're like family to me.
Families are real important in NASCAR. My father got me into it, and now it's my turn. Hey, can I borrow the keys to your car this weekend? No.
Families are great support, but I compete with my brother. So do the Burtons, the Wallaces, and we all want to win.
Hey, look, I love my brothers, but I'm not going to let them pass me on Sunday.
This is NASCAR.
Dad. No.
Back at Bristol Motor Speedway, where we are under caution due to an accident down in turn number 2 on the second lap of the race. 1 to go right now, but between now and then, let's tell you that Steve Park was the pole sitter, the Bud Pole winner here at Bristol. He joins Dale Jarrett, Rusty Wallace, Ricky Rudd, and Jeff Gordon in the 2001 Bud Shootout at Daytona next February. Jarrett, of course, with 2 poles already this year. Jerry?
Elliott Sadler has been on pit road 4 times with the Citgo Ford. He has mostly cosmetic sheet metal damage. The only other concern is the left front tire is towed in. They have tried to fix it. They will bring him back in one more time prior to the green flag. Let's check in with Bill.
This is the 4th stop for Earnhardt Jr. They're trying to cut the sheet metal away from the left front tire. They have a saw. They've been able to keep from losing a lap, but they may lose one here. John Kernan.
Mark Martin did not come into pit, although he does have some damage as the car's getting ready to go back to green. He does have some damage from someone running into his rear bumper, but they seem to think the car is okay.
The green flag waves. We are underway once again. Steve Park, by the way, is leading for the first time in his NASCAR Winston Cup career on a short track. This is the 9th race in his career that he has been out front. Being pursued right now by Kenny Wallace, Jeff Gordon, Mike Skinner, and Ward Burton, last week's winner at Darlington.
There goes Dale Earnhardt by Bobby Labonte. So we'll put Earnhardt up in the 9th position.
Bobby's car slipped a little bit coming off of turn 2. And Jeremy Mayfield slips a little bit coming off of 4, and Tony Stewart gets on the inside of him. Tony Stewart in the orange number 20 Pontiac.
Started back in 19th position. He said during NASCAR today that he had a lot of work to do to get up toward the front, and he's getting there as quickly as he can. Now Ward Burton comes up on Jeff Burton comes up on the back of Jeremy Mayfield.
We're on board now with Dale Jarrett. He's looking at the back, and we see Ted Musgrave down on the bottom of the racetrack in the Power Team Chevrolet.
He's coming out of the pits, Benny. He made some pit stops during the caution and went back in just as the green flag was coming out. So he's still just coming back out. He's about 4 laps down.
And there's that much racetrack between that group and the leaders, and the first 3 running very close together.
Here's Terry Labonte on the inside of Bobby Hamilton. Hamilton in the 4 car, the yellow number 4 Chevrolet, Kodak Chevrolet, and Bobby Labonte trying to make that pass. There's Tony Stewart coming right along with him.
That will move everybody up to 8th, 9th, drop Hamilton back to 10th, and now Tony Stewart tries to get the 10th position on Hamilton. And he will do so entering turn number 3, forcing Hamilton way up high.
Well, he's got a little bit of an opening there now. He can get back down to the inside in front of Jeff Burton.
Now Kenny Wallace. Oh, the 1 car getting a little tail happy off the corner. Wiggle a little bit off turn 2. The conditions today are so different than yesterday during that last hour of practice when it was overcast. Today, there's a cloud to be seen.
Had some showers overnight, but bright sunshine today. Here's Mark Martin to the inside of Chad Little.
3 Roush cars running back in 25th, 26th, 27th.
And Mark Martin has made a lot of gains since the green flag started because of that 10 positions. Great, at least.
There's Kevin LePage now right behind Chad Little and Bill Elliott, along with John Andretti. All this about 9 seconds behind the leader of the race.
John Andretti's crew in that STP Pontiac very excited this morning when I walked through the garage area about how well their car was running.
Stacy Compton and Brett Bodine behind John Andretti. By the way, Darrell Walter is 4 laps down, having made early pit stops and getting the sheet metal.
No, that's Ted Musgrave.
Sorry, that is Musgrave, yeah. Well, Waltrip did stay on the lead lap, although he did make some pit stops to get the sheet metal pounded out. Well, there is the lead trio, and they are not very far behind Elliott Sadler and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Here's Sterling Marlin and Ken Schrader battling for position. This is back for the 21st spot. There is Musgrave again, who is 4 laps down. And Mark Martin goes to the inside of Ricky Rudd.
No big surprise that Mark Martin is moving up through this field. Ooh, a little bit of a tap there from Musgrave on the 36 car, but no harm done.
This is the shot from the Pennzoil copter cam hovering overhead. Oh, some more contact there between Musgrave and Schrader. And Mark Martin saw the opportunity and takes to the inside of Musgrave.
Started to talk about Mark Martin. His car was very, very fast yesterday in happy hour, especially on new tires.
And Jeff Gordon goes by Kenny Wallace, goes into that 2nd spot.
And here is how Jeff got the position from Kenny.
Man, he just gets a great grip off the corner and just powers on the inside of Kenny Wallace, and there's nothing Kenny Wallace can do if he doesn't want to crash.
26 laps have been completed here at Bristol Motor Speedway, and Steve Park, the pole sitter, has been out front since the green flag drop, with Gordon now 2nd, Wallace, Skinner, and Burton the top 5.
It's cool, it's fast, it's easy to use. It's the online automotive superstore with millions of brand name parts and accessories to choose from. Replacement parts, performance parts, free shipping too. It's the place on the web for people who really love their wheels. www.wrenchhead.com. The proud sponsor of Monster Jam. Wrenchhead.com. Parts online all the time.
This place? For that kind of money? Not what you need to hear. Then stay here at Super 8. Clean, comfortable rooms, because we inspect them more than any major economy chain. Clean, friendly Super 8. All the room you want.
At Enterprise Rent-A-Car, when you call us, we don't just pick up the phone. We pick you up.
Right here.
This is great.
Thank you.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Okay, ma'am. You claim Jeff Burton led you to believe the Exide Select battery was only for race cars?
That's right, Your Honor.
And Mr. Burton?
Not guilty, Your Honor. All I said was the Exide 99 team needs a tough, reliable battery out on the track.
Hey, I need a reliable battery, too.
But, Your Honor,
That's enough.
The Exide Select battery. It's not just for race cars.
Award for the plaintiff.
They go like 200 miles an hour. Have you ever gone that fast, Dad?
No, but I sure would like to. You would? Yeah. Mind if I drive? Let's go.
Grab an ice-cold Coke, and you could win a trip to the Coca-Cola Racing Family Reunion, including race tickets, pit passes, and a chance to ride with a Racing Family driver. Only from Coca-Cola. Enjoy.
Polaris has sold more automatic ATVs than everyone else combined. And to celebrate building their 1 millionth automatic, they're giving $1 million to someone who buys a new Polaris ATV this year. It could be you. The Polaris millionth automatic $1 million giveaway. The chase is on. See your Polaris dealer for contest details.
The 1999 Kart FedEx Championship season belonged to Juan Montoya. He won the title, but he switches to the winless Toyota engine for this year. Michael Andretti has been quick in preseason testing and hopes for another championship. Engines just about ready to fire, and you'll see that race as part of a triple header here on the networks. After this race at 4:30, coming up is the Grand Prix of Miami for the Kart FedEx Championship Series, and then at 7 o'clock tonight on ESPN2, the Dodge California 250 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. And right ahead of the leaders, Robbie Gordon spins. And that will bring out caution number 2, and other cars become involved.
As Earnhardt gets involved, Bobby Labonte couldn't get slowed down enough, and he touched Earnhardt as he came up on him.
All of this while Steve Park was working through the slower traffic. He had already put Darrell Waltrip and Gordon and Elliott Sadler a lap down.
Well, actually, he had put Darrell Waltrip and the 21 car of Elliott Sadler a lap down. Robbie Gordon was battling with the 17 car, Matt Kenseth, for a position, trying to stay in front of the leader when they made contact, and Robbie Gordon spun in the wall. See, here we see Robbie Gordon, the 13, Matt Kenseth in the 17, the yellow car right behind. Here's the leader there. We see the contact. And around goes Robbie Gordon. No, just nail the gas, and it helps some, but not enough. There you see the leader, Steve Park. He quickly goes to the inside. All the other cars going down on the apron of the racetrack. And here we see Bobby Labonte, Ned, that you're talking about, get in the back of Dale Earnhardt.
Shot Earnhardt right up the bank. Don't think he did a lot of damage to his Chevrolet. But the leaders are coming in the pits as we watch that once again.
And we'll see Earnhardt spin into this. There he goes around.
So on the 40th lap, we're seeing pit stops made as the top 21 pit stalls here on the front stretch, and they're heavily occupied right now, Jerry.
Our leader, Steve Park, in for his first pit stop of the day. His car is perfect. He says no changes, simply 4 tires. They're already to the left side of the car. Earnhardt's pit, Bill.
Earnhardt has sheet metal damage on the left rear. They make a track bar adjustment. They're going to make a 4-tire stop. They took a long time on the right side. The 1 car is away. The 88's away. The 31, the 25. Taking a long time to get the tires on the 3 car. He's away to John Kernan. Mark Martin's crew putting 4 tires on, completing the work on the left side as the leaders street-wide down the back stretch. Mark's car was a little bit tight, so they made a 3/4 round wedge adjustment to the right rear.
Saw Dale Jr. drive through that wreck. We'll take a look at it from his onboard camera now. That's Kenseth just ahead and Gordon spinning.
Bobby Labonte. Oh, there's a contact with Earnhardt as he tried to stop. That's the Circuit City onboard camera.
Leader of the race will be the 22 car of Ward Burton. Jeff Gordon beat a couple of cars off pit road, and here is Dale Earnhardt Jr. making another stop and getting out to stay on the lead lap. While we're under caution, another break, and back with more from just a moment. Bristol Motor Speedway. Stay with us.
The dog is supposed to cry. So let's do one more. Are you finished? Rex, you're supposed to cry. Think back to your worst day. That's your motivation. Motivation. What's your next movie?
Call me. 3 words for all you people stuck in a food rut. Tony and Pat. Get our new Hickory Bacon Dog with crispy bacon, cheese, and hickory sauce. Or an extra long chili cheese coney. Your choice with lots of tater tots for a special low price.
For cars with over 75,000 miles, life has
has just begun. Introducing Valvoline Max Life Motor Oil.
First anniversary, paper. 25th anniversary, silver. 100th anniversary, rubber. The Firestone 100th anniversary tire sale. 4 tires for $100. Happy anniversary.
We need a car?
A minivan.
No.
An SUV.
With leather.
Blue.
Green.
Bluish green.
Introducing Autotrader.com. With 1.5 million used cars updated daily. It's the biggest, best used car site on the planet.
Now we need insurance.
And a loan.
Autotrader.com. Your car is waiting.
Just about ready to go back to racing here at Bristol with Ward Burton out front. Jeff Gordon.
Be ready there. Be ready.
Michael Walters third. Steve Park is fourth. Bobby Labonte is in fifth position.
Well, Michael Walters in third place there is pitting on the backstretch, but he only took on 2 tires, which was probably good pit strategy. They had not had that many laps on the tires they had on, and we understand that Ward Burton already only took on 2 tires as well.
You can see there in the cockpit summary that Ward moved from 5th to 1st with those 2 tires. Terry Labonte dropping from 6th to 11th. Tony Stewart gained a position. Ward Burton comes into this race having led the most laps in the 2000 NASCAR Winston Cup season, a total of 288 going into today, helped, of course, last week by his dominance at Darlington. There is Mark Martin, who started back in the 34th position. And a Super 8 serial score shows that he has moved up to the 16th position.
He's passed a lot of cars on the racetrack, and he also passed some in the pits, too. He's pitting on the backstretch, but he made a great pit stop.
A little bit different look to Mark Martin's car today. They're promoting the Max Life Long Life Motor Oil from Valvoline. Dale Earnhardt is on the high line and getting squeezed.
Well, I tell you, he's making it work. Takes a lot of guts to get up there this early in the race, but he's making it work. He had an extended pit stop after getting spun.
Now Jeff Gordon takes the lead from Ward Burton. During the caution, Jeff Fuller was credited with leading a lap, and so Jeff Gordon becomes our 4th leader of the day, with Steve Park having led 40 laps so far. That means he has led more laps today than he has in his entire Winston Cup career. Came into this event having led 35 this year. Big traffic jam back here. Dick Trickle on the inside, Johnny Vincent on the outside.
And that's Robert Presley in the blue car. That's number 77, Jasper engine car. Thanks to the race. Let's go inside and check our telemetry, sponsored by Jimmy Dean. We'll see the miles per hour, the RPMs. You see Trickle goes down just to 102 miles per hour, the slowest mile per hour we see, and he will accelerate down to 131 down the straightaway. But he slips up the racetrack right now, and the 77 car Presley trying to get alongside.
Presley does take the 19th position. Now Johnny Vincent looks for an opening down low, but can't find it. Battle for 8th position involves Mike Skinner and Jeremy Mayfield.
And Mayfield is all over Skinner. He's got a fender on him going in the turn, but couldn't quite make the pass. Now he might get it. Rusty Wallace has caught him as well. He's going to follow his teammate, Jeremy Mayfield, on the inside of Skinner.
Jerry has more on Rusty Wallace.
Prior to that caution flag, Rusty Wallace had been losing spot to spot. His car was very loose. Now, during that caution stop, they went down a half around the track bar. They changed the air pressure in the left front, a half a pound in the right rear, and put a roundup wedge in. They also changed 4 tires and put gas in it. They did all that in 16.7 seconds. So very, very quick stop for Rusty Wallace as Michael Waltrip now takes second spot. Let's go over to John. Ted Musgrave, who's filling in for the injured Jeffrey Bodine, was involved in that first lap crash, and he apparently put a hole in the radiator, lost some water, the engine overheated, and the Jim Longistrucci told me he thinks they cracked the cylinder head, so they are done for the day. The 60 car behind the wall.
That car is officially listed as out of the race. Well, Jeff Gordon is the leader. Fourth race he's led in the year 2000, led 22 last week at Darlington. Here is Terry Labonte trying to take the 10th position away from Mike Skinner.
And Skinner's going to come up on the car, the 21 cars. They get together just a little bit. Now Dale Jarrett tries to get down there. I'm starting to say that Skinner's coming up. You see Dale Sadler up there in car number 21 running the high side, giving those drivers the low side, and that's working against Mike Skinner since he's up there in that second groove right now.
Oh, he and Mark Martin going to try to go for the same spot down in turn 1, but Mark is already there. Skinner wisely backs off the gas.
Skinner is in a very bad position there. He got up on when Jeremy Mayfield got on the inside of him. He got up there and could not get back down. Now he finally gets back down on the inside. He lost a lot of positions.
Jerry Nadeau, the 25 car, cut Mike Skinner some slack there and allowed him to get back in line.
Clear all around.
The next time the Skinner sees Jerry Nadeau, he ought to walk up and say thanks. Right alongside with Bobby Labonte as he follows Steve Park, and what in the brake hose that carries air from up front to the brakes to cool them off came off, well, some car in front. We assume it was the 1 car. See the piece that comes out from under the car right there?
Yeah.
That was one of the brake hoses. Wow.
Well, and Park continues to run in 4th, but a major challenge now from Bobby Labonte.
And some of the crew chiefs told me this morning that they're using more brakes here than they've ever noticed the drivers using before. They really don't understand why. So that could be a problem for Steve Park later on.
Park loses 4th to Bobby.
Bobby Labonte there moved into the 4th position. And like the hood on the right side there, perhaps when he hit Dale Earnhardt over there, they buckled that up a little bit.
Down to Bill Weber. How about Tony Stewart, Bill? He's up to 6th.
Could be trouble for Tony Stewart. He has told his crew he's overheating. The water gauge is pegged. The crew now up on the wall. They're discussing when to come in. But Tony Stewart could have to be here any moment. They're hoping to get a caution, but they can't hope for too long.
And that's another problem with practicing when it's cooler. I don't know, yesterday the temperature was probably, oh, here he comes. Tony Stewart off the racetrack on the pit road to try to cool this thing off. And how many laps is he going to lose? Bill Weber.
He's going to lose a significant number of laps here. They will raise the hood. They're going to try and clear some water in there underneath. Now they want him to cut it off. Continues to work. Sounds like they found the problem, but they just can't figure out exactly how to correct it right now. Tony Stewart continues to finish.
Oh, the one of the belts, evidently the belt that runs the water pump has come off, Bill. I see them with a belt in their hand there.
Oh, he's losing laps in a hurry. He's already lost 3, 4 now. I noticed after they put that car on the line this morning, with the NASCAR official watching, they raised the hood on the car. I wondered what was going on, but they put the hood back down and assumed that everything was okay, and apparently it was not a problem with this.
And water is pouring. Look at the water pouring out the exhaust pipe of the car, which means that there's a cracked cylinder head, block, or some water is getting in the combustion chamber and coming out the exhaust pipe.
Well, Tony Stewart, this is only his 3rd race here at Bristol and Winston Cup. Last year he finished 15th and 5th. Jeff Gordon leads over Michael Waltrip. Waltrip, Ward Burton, Bobby Labonte, and Steve Park, as 76 of 500 laps have been completed in the Food City 500, presented by Wrenchhead.com. We'll be right back.
Just past the rectory and up some cold gray stairs is the best place on earth to buy electronics, videos, books, even your favorite country music. It's Sister Maria's room. Because Sister Maria has two very important things: access to Amazon.com, the best site for finding whatever you have a passion for, and Visa, the online currency. A great way to buy Hank Williams' 40 Greatest Hits, and of course, something to play it on. Visa is everywhere you want to be.
I'm a child care director. In the summer, I drive buses and vans. We have a blast on these field trips. It's just as much fun for me as it is for them. Parents are entrusting me with the safety of their children. We have to make sure we keep great tires on the van. We trust Walmart to service our vehicles. They have name brand tires and they have great prices, and they're guaranteed nationwide. That's one reason we bought them.
Brand name tires, oil changes, and more at Walmart Tire and Lube Express.
Because it's pretty precious cargo.
Cool cars. Cool boots.
Introducing the next generation of Red Wings with Comfort Force. Red Wing Shoes, proud sponsor of Petty Enterprises Racing.
They go like 200 miles an hour. Have you ever gone that fast, Dad?
No, but I sure would like to. You would? Yeah.
Mind if I drive? Let's go.
Grab an ice cold Coke, and you could win a trip to the Coca-Cola Racing Family Reunion, including race tickets, pit passes, and a chance to ride with a racing family driver. Only from Coca-Cola. Enjoy.
Remember back when it didn't cost a lot to be the coolest kid on two wheels? Well, those days are back. For a limited time, get a Yamaha V-Star from just $89 a month. It's the Yamaha Turn Back Time sales event. So see your Yamaha dealer today, because you won't find a deal this attractive anywhere else.
Back at Bristol, where Jeff Gordon leads the Food City 500, presented by Wrenchhead.com. Their second position, Michael Waltrip. When you come up into traffic, here's what you do when you're the leader and there's a slower car ahead.
Contact in the back. And poor Kenny Irwin had tried to stay in front. He had stayed in front of Jeff Gordon, what, Ned, 2 or 3 laps?
Yeah, 4 or 5 maybe. And Jeff said, well, it's time to go. Because he saw Michael Waltrip coming up behind him there. And he said, I got to go. So he gave him just a little bit of time. Waited a little bit.
Kenny Irwin was in 34th position. That was the lap down. Now here is the 33rd place car of Chad Little, about to go a lap down, as we go back and check out this battle among Brett Bodine, Kenny Schrader, and Matt Kenseth.
So that's a battle back for the 26th, 27th, 28th. There's 29th. That's Dick Triple. There's the 14 car.
Brett Bodine, red number 11. Having a good run here today so far.
On board with Dick Trickle in the A.J. Foyt-owned Conseco Pontiac. And up ahead, we see Brett Bodine and Schrader still running side by side.
Oh, Schrader almost loses that thing as he gets high and has to back off the gas, loses momentum, and cars going by on the inside, 5 or 6 cars.
Well, Tony Stewart's car remains behind the wall. Bill, what are they doing?
Working underneath the hood, Bob, and apparently what happened is that the water pump belt broke. That's what caused the overheating problem. When that belt left, it apparently took the alternator belt with it. So they've had to go back to the truck, get those belts. It takes a lot of work to get these back into place. So they're working on that, trying to get Tony back out.
And all Tony Stewart can do is just sit there and wait. Looks like there's a belt of some kind out on the track.
Yeah, it's got a snake. It looks like it.
That could be one of Tony Stewart's belts, as a matter of fact.
Well, we hear that it could be a rear end belt that pulls the cooler for the rear end, so I don't know. Jerry?
We were watching this belt laying on the racetrack a moment ago, right across from Jeff Gordon's pits, and some of the crew members said, that looks like a rear end belt. It's obviously a belt that came off one of the cars, and if I were to guess right now, after hearing that Tony said interview a moment ago, it's probably off the 20 car.
And I'm surprised that Tony Stewart would lose 2 belts and the oil pump belts still stay on the car. That's always the big concern. When those other belts come off, they knock the oil pump belt off, and when that thing stops turning, the engine isn't far away from blowing up.
Jeff Gordon has lapped the 32nd place car of Jeff Fuller, now coming up on the 36th car of Ken Schrader, who a few laps ago had a big handful.
There he is up between 1 and 2. And wow. He was trying to eat his M&Ms, I think, Bob, in 1 and 2, and dropped some of them.
All of that sprint car experience that Ken Schrader had running sideways helped him a lot right there.
A little dirt tracking.
And what a great run Michael Waltrip is having today. As we see Jeremy Mayfield up on the back bumper of the 1 car, that's a battle for the 5th spot.
And there's people on Jeremy Mayfield's bumper, too. His teammate, Rusty Wallace. Terry Labonte is right there. Dale Jarrett's there. Mark Martin's there.
And Russ is saying to Jeremy, now look, either go on or get out of the way.
Sterling Marlin has joined that fray. The guy who won the Busch race here yesterday.
On board with Jarrett. Running back in 9th.
Steve Hartwig is holding this crew up just a little bit right now. His car not quite as fast as some of those that are behind him, but he's fast enough to stay out in front of him. And it might not be him. I looked at a moment ago, and Ward Burton really was the man that was holding a couple up. The Ward's passed some lap traffic now and has moved on away.
And once they have caught the 42 car, Kenny Irwin, there we see, and we saw Jeff Gordon get in the back of Kenny Irwin earlier.
Tony Stewart comes back down pit road, heading back out on the racetrack. But he's lots of laps down.
Now 31 laps down as Tony rejoins the competition. Jerry has more on Steve Park right now in 5th, but has a lot of traffic behind him, Jerry.
And Ned, you might be exactly right about Park holding up a little bit. He has called on the radio and complained now for the first time today that his car has gotten very tight in the middle of the corner. It will not turn in the corner. It is slipping up the racetrack, so he has to back out of the throttle a little bit. So obviously they'll need to make an adjustment. But right now he's not nearly as quick as he was at the beginning of the day. And you're probably right. He is holding up as well as others behind him.
Well, his last lap was 112.9. The fastest was, looks like Bobby Labonte at 113.6. And Jeff Gordon now tries to lap Stacy Compton, who's running in the 30th position.
And Michael Waltrip hanging right there in that Seven Nations red car.
And remember, he only took 2 tires. Gordon took 4 tires, so did Bobby Labonte. And that's something that these crew chiefs will file in their memory bank as this race goes on and say, hey, that guy was able to stay up there good with just 2 tires. They didn't have that many laps on them at that time, but it is something that they will certainly think about.
Michael Waltrip has won here at Bristol before, won a Busch race in April of 1993.
As a matter of fact, I was working the pits that day, and in Victory Lane, he proposed to his wife, Steve. How about that?
There is Ward Burton in 4th. Just took over the 4th spot.
The Ward was hung up in that traffic a little while ago, but he has taken off since then. Fred is gaining on the front runners.
Now Park finally gets to the inside of Kenny Irwin. But Jeremy Mayfield is not able to do so as the cars head down into turn 1 once again. Traffic all the way around the racetrack, and just when you clear one car, you've got somebody else to deal with.
Never ends.
Already 110 laps completed. As you can see, there are cars all the way around the half mile, but the 155,000 fans that have gathered here are loving it. It's the Food City 500 presented by RichEd.com.
In this unstable world we live in, it's nice to know some things are reliable and secure. Balker Motors, family-owned and operated for over 76 years. Balker Motors, over 29 Chrysler 5-star awards for excellence. Balker Motors, selling Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge cars and trucks. Balker Motors, 4 miles south of Spring Grove, on the hill in Jefferson. Balker Motors, where people are very important.
Zieglerville Tire and Auto can do a whole lot more than sell you a great set of tires for your car. And if you don't bring it to a shop with certified mechanics and over 60 years combined experience like us, well, it could change everything. Because we're an authorized Napa Car Care Center and an American Car Care Center with coast-to-coast warranty protection. So when you bring your car, truck, or van to us, it changes everything. Not to mention the tires you'll drive away on.
Hey, nice tires.
Zieglerville Tire and Auto, just like the name said.
Lines has investigated sports on and off the field. Now, starting April 2nd, this groundbreaking Emmy Award-winning program premieres a new weekly edition, Sunday mornings at 10:30. Join host Bob Lee as he explores the major story of the week dominating the headlines, plus live interviews with the top newsmakers on the one program that takes you inside the game by going outside the lines. Outside the Lines, now Sundays at 10:30 on ESPN.
Jeff Gordon leads Michael Waltrip here with 116 laps completed. Gordon has been out front for 65 laps so far. The Pennzoil Copter Cam is hovering overhead in the beautiful blue skies in northeast Tennessee and Bristol Motor Speedway, providing the aerial shots all afternoon. Now the leader once again comes up on some traffic. Meanwhile, a couple of laps ago, we had some interesting confrontation between father and son. There is Dale Earnhardt, who right now is in 11th position. Here's what happened a while ago.
Yeah, they come off turn 4, go down the front straightaway. That's right alongside Dale Earnhardt Jr. Dale Earnhardt in the 3 car decides to come up the racetrack to get his angle better going down in turn 1, but his son on the outside.
Earnhardt Jr. is 9 laps down in the 40th position, but Dad is in 11th spot.
He's come back up from after he got spun out. He was way back in the pack, but look where he has come from. From 22nd up to 11th, Jerry.
Just before they climbed in the car, I was standing talking to Dale Earnhardt Jr., and his dad, Senior, walked over, and he put one hand on my shoulder and one hand on his son's shoulder and said, "Doc, now witness what I'm telling my son." He says, "Now listen, here at Bristol, patience is your friend. You got to be patient. You got to back off on the straightaways. You got to save the car. Do you understand?" And Junior said, "Yeah, Dad, I got you." And he walked away. That's what he told him. I'm just passing along the message.
Well, I tell you what, Jimmy Spencer, the 43 car, John Andretti got together going down in turn 1 right in front of Jeff Gordon. And once again, I don't think we can say enough. Oh, what's going on here? Ooh, contact there between the 43 and 24.
A couple of Indiana boys slugging it out there, and Andretti goes a lap down. He's a 27th place car.
Oh, he's trying his best to get to that 24 car, trying his best. Could not quite make it.
And here's the incident that occurred in front of Jeff Gordon just a couple of moments ago between Spencer and Andretti. Whoa!
Yeah. A little tap there from Spencer, and Andretti went high. Well, there's not a spot that you can choose here that's safe. It doesn't seem like.
Well, this is reminiscent of what happened here in the night race last year as Dale Earnhardt and Terry Labonte are running together out there on the racetrack.
Earnhardt just passed Labonte a couple of laps ago. He's been coming up through the field. He's up to 9th now.
And meanwhile, right in front of Dale Earnhardt is Sterling Marlin. And Sterling started in the 40 car, started back in 28th, and there he is. He's worked his way up to the 8th position.
Started 28th. By lap 25 was up to 21st, and our Super 8 serial scoring shows him now in the 8th position. In the first race here at Bristol last year, he finished 14th, and the night race wound up 7th.
Sterling Mullen won the NASCAR Busch Series race held here yesterday afternoon in very convincing form, I might add.
And a very unfamiliar race car because Dave Steele was, of course, assigned to drive it. But Sterling got in it and qualified it. And then they had plans of Dave running it in the race, but NASCAR reminded everybody of the rule that says a rookie cannot start after the car is qualified by somebody else. And Sterling drove it and went to victory lane.
Might have learned something there yesterday that's helping him here today. He normally runs good on this racetrack anyway, but certainly he's made, as Denny said, a lot of stride here so far.
Dale Jarrett, the defending NASCAR Winston Cup champion, is in 11th position.
Both Sterling Marlin and Dale Earnhardt got by he and Terry Labonte and dropped them back a couple of positions from where they were about 15, 20 laps ago.
Dale Jarrett has finished 6th or better here, including 1 win in the last 9 of 10 races. Gordon now tries to put Jimmy Spencer a lap down. Spencer is running 26th in the 26 car.
Jeff Gordon has gained 6 positions.
Look at Tony Stewart in the Napa Field summary. We're showing you the points. That showed you that Tony Stewart had lost 6 positions in the points as a result of his early out here. He is listed as out of the race already and will finish in the 42nd position. First car out of the race was Ted Musgrave.
Dave Blaine in the 93 car. He's going another lap down to the leader. He's now 2 down to Jeff Gordon. And Bobby Labonte looks like the 18 car, the Interstate Batteries car, has caught Michael Walter. And it could be that the 4-tire change, Michael only changed 2, and it looks like maybe these guys that changed 4 have a little bit of advantage now.
That normally comes into play in real long runs, and we've been under green flag here for quite a while.
Labonte closes in on Michael Waltrip, who's trying to turn his season around. He is 33rd in points. A year ago, he was 10th in points, and he is 23 point positions behind where he was last year. That's the largest loss of any driver.
Michael Waltrip is trying his best, and today is a classic example. He is making a statement to his crew, to his mechanics, to his pit crew. Look, I want to win. I am capable of winning. Now, we've got to get a car that will last all day, run 500 miles. Now, we'll see. They made a great pit stop earlier. Can they do it? When the money's on the line, can they beat Jeff Gordon and these guys? So he's making a statement. Can his crew make that same statement?
Right now, Michael Waltrip runs in 2nd spot as we have a car in the wall. It's Elliott Sadler once again in turn number 4.
And the caution flag is out, and we see that the right front tire is both right sides. The whole right side of the car flattened, so he's trying to get the car rolling. It does not want to roll very well.
And 43 of John Andretti trying to get a lap back. I don't know if he did or not. No. Bad break for Dave Blaney. He just made a green flag pit stop and had just come back out on the racetrack.
And a disappointing afternoon for Elliott Sadler, who was the fastest in happy hour last night. In all of the wins that the Wood brothers have experienced in their Winston Cup career, which began back in 1953, they have recorded 96 wins, but never a win at this facility. Elliott heads for pit road with some major damage.
And the leaders are all coming down pit road as well. And, of course, he had a good qualifying run, so he is pitting on the front stretch.
Down to Bill Weber.
Bobby Labonte is going to make an air pressure adjustment and also a wedge adjustment. You look at the triple pits on your screen. The 18 working on the right side. Now they come around to the left. Bobby Labonte does have front damage to the right side of the car. Jerry Punch.
Slide air pressure adjustment in Jeff Gordon's car number 24. A little bit tight in the middle of the corner. And he is down and away. Great pit stop. 24 down, 18 out. Here goes the 2 by the 12 and 22. Earnhardt is down. Great pit work for Jeff Gordon's guys. Let's go over to the 7th pit for John Kernan.
Michael Walters cruising the half-pound of air pressure out of the right front tires and loses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spots. He comes in running second. He's going to lose 6 spots and almost some contact with Mark Martin as they left pit road together, but he did beat Mark out off of the backstretch.
I saw someone hit a tire back there. That might have been Michael as well.
Down to Jerry.
Elliott Sadler climbing out of his Ford car, walked around and surveyed the damage. A tough break here for this crew early on. I know he's very, very upset, very angry, so he obviously decided to go off and be able to collect his thoughts. Very, very upset. Elliott Sadler, very angry because of the opportunity he thought he would have today here at Bristol, Tennessee. He wants to give this Wood Brothers team their first win in a long, long time, but taking a look at the right side of that car, it was not to be.
And here's what happened at the exit of the pit road back on the backstretch. Yep, Michael Waltrip did hit the tire, looked like from Matt Kenseth's car, but he did beat Mark Martin off pit road. Almost a collision back there. Back with more in a moment.
I'm Steve Kirby. These are my mountains. I test emissions for Ford Motor Company. We're up here in the Rockies testing Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury sport utility vehicles. We're really concerned about the environment. Every SUV we sell this year is going to be low emissions. These vehicles average 35% less smog-forming emissions than the government requires. 35%. That's really amazing. The government doesn't make us do this. We're doing this for my mountains. Better ideas.
Conseco, NASCAR's official financial services provider. Step up.
Hi.
Oh, yeah, hi.
You came a little slow there.
Well, I was stunned by your beauty. Buy you a Miller Lite, it tastes great.
Sure, but I like it because it's less filling.
Huh? Well, opposites attract. You want to go someplace in town?
Yeah.
Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
Rookie.
I can see you, shining star in my thoughts, never far. Little moments, night is air, perfect days everywhere. We belong together, you and I, forever.
The Rick, this is Sean with ESPN Fantasy Baseball. We only use stats from players in the AL and the NL. We do not accept stats from the RL, the Rick League. Stop faxing us your wiffle ball stats. You're jamming up our machine.
8 remain. 1 will prevail. The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship Regional Finals, Monday on ESPN and ESPN2.
Back at Bristol Motor Speedway in Northeast Tennessee is the Food City 500, presented by WrenchHead.com, is 146 laps old, under caution. We saw Elliott Sadler running off moments ago from his disabled race car. Jerry is now with him.
And Elliott, we know you've been sort of ill all week long, so when you got out of the car, you had to make a quick dash there. I hope you're feeling better, but what happened here? Sorry to see you out so early.
Yeah, we blew it right front. Car's messed up pretty bad from that first incident. Just shame for Sitco and everybody involved. We had a great race call yesterday. We knew it was going to be good today. I checked up a little bit. I didn't want to run into Bobby Labonte on the second lap, and I think Earnhardt did check up enough and hit the back of us. I know it's not intentional, just hard luck here at Bristol for us, but we just got to get it together and come back to Texas and do the best we can.
Can you get back out? Is the car damaged too much to get back?
We're going to get back out, just try to get some laps, but, you know, it's all the wrecks today, so we're just going to do the best we can. You know, we didn't need this in the points, but we're going to try to get the Sitco Ford back out there and run as many times as we can.
That's Elliott Sadler. You saw him running away a moment ago. It's not been a good week. He's actually, for 3 days, unable to keep anything down and had to have IV fluid, so he was sick on his stomach when he climbed out of the car and ran to the restroom. That's why he came running back to us and said, "I'm sorry, guys. I'll talk now."
So Brett Bodine on the backstretch. Some reports he's overheating. We saw him put some water in the car.
Well, Budweiser NASCAR 2000 moment would look good right now as we are under caution here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Bill Weber.
Well, Bob, obviously at a small track like Bristol, noise is a huge factor. It's a factor every week, the field getting one to go right now. Well, Richard Childress is wearing a new headset made by the David Clark Company. It's a noise-canceling headset. It produces a sub-audible signal that is 180 degrees opposite of the ambient noise, so it cancels out engine noise and the noise you're exposed to at the racetrack. Basically, that headset, which he gets from racing radios, makes it easier for him to hear his crew and his driver. Now, he has been using this on and off for a couple of weeks. It's still in development. They're trying to perfect it. He says it's significantly better. The next thing people would like to see is something for that microphone so the driver can hear the guys in the pits a little clearer.
It is noisy down there. All right, pace car pulls off. We're set to go back to racing with Jeff Gordon still at the front of the line. Bobby Labonte second, and Jeremy Mayfield, Steve Park, and Ward Burton the top five. Michael Waltrip slipped from second to 10th. He pitted on the backstretch, and Sterling Marlin slipped 13 positions.
And the 12 car jumps into second spot. It looked like Bobby Labonte goes down on the bottom of the racetrack down in 1 and 2 so he could go on the inside of Kevin LePage. When he did that, Jeremy Mayfield quickly just dove to the outside and took second spot away.
Jeremy Mayfield had a great pit stop, got himself up there in third position, now is chasing the leader.
Dale Earnhardt, and he's chasing down his own car. Let's see if he makes some contact with Park. If he gets him, I bet he does. If he gets to Steve Park, I bet you he just says, I'm going to put anybody in his slack. I'm going to give you a little nudge.
Park running fourth, and his boss fifth. And they're up front. Meanwhile, Jeremy Mayfield closing in rapidly on Gordon.
He wants to lead this race.
We've had 5 leaders: Gordon, Park, Ward Burton, Michael Waltrip, Jeff Fuller. And now let's see.
I think he wants to hit that one car. I think he just wants to go up and just to teach Steve Park, look, here's how you get that guy, here's how you move him over and get by when you're faster than he is.
The teacher and the student, and the teacher heads for the high side now, and that allows Ward Burton to close in.
Well, look at that run Earnhardt gets off the turn coming off to the high side.
Well, Dale Earnhardt has figured out that now that high side is not going to work with the tires as new as they are. We might have to wait a little bit until the tires get some laps on and then try that.
7th place car there is, and we're riding on board with, Rusty Wallace. For the taste of the race, some Jimmy Dean telemetry from Rusty's car, showing about half brake going into the corner.
Once the guys tell me that they're using a little bit more brake than we're indicating here, we see he just laid his foot on there. Some guys said they were really concerned about how much brake the drivers were using.
Then I started to say, I suspect it's because of the new tires that they have here. They're running faster getting into the turns, coming off of the turns, and that gets them into the next turn faster. Have to use a little more brake.
Meanwhile, back to the battle between Park and Earnhardt. This is for 4th spot.
And I don't think that Dale Earnhardt would want Steve Park to move over and let him go. I may be wrong, but I don't think he wanted just to move over and say, go ahead. I think he wants his guys, the drivers, to be just as tough as he is and to take everything you can get and don't give them anything. Jeremy Mayfield is not pressuring Jeff Gordon like he was. He's now about a half second behind Gordon, which is about 10 car lengths, 15. Here's Bobby Hamilton, who is now running in 9th spot. Hamilton and his crew tested here in that number 4 car, the Kodak Film Chevrolet, Karen Briggs and Stratton onboard camera. They tested here and ran very, very well. But they tested here, there's a lot cooler, temperature a great deal different. They're having to make some adjustments on this car. Ned pointed out during a break that it looked like he was pushing off the corners. They made some adjustments, and he seems to be a little bit better now.
By far his best start of the year 2000. Began today's race from 8th position. He's got quite a racetrack, though, quite a bit of racetrack between himself and the leader as Rusty Wallace takes over the 6th position from Ward Burton. That field summary shows you the manufacturer's battle with Pontiac at the top of the standings by 2. Jeremy Mayfield is the highest Ford driver right now. Gordon the best among the Chevy contingent, and Bobby Labonte is the best among Pontiac. So we've got Chevy running first, Ford second, and Pontiac third. The interval about a 0.6 of a second now between Jeff Gordon and second place Jeremy Mayfield, as 168 of 500 laps are completed in the Food City 500.
What would it be worth to wake up in a great mood?
I'm in a great mood.
Because you had a good night's sleep.
I slept like a baby.
In a nice, comfortable room.
What a room, yeah.
How about 10% off?
Hey, I like that 10%.
With Super 8's VIP card, it's yours, guaranteed.
VIP, that's me.
At over 1,800 locations. Clean, friendly Super 8.
Clean, friendly, yeah.
Super 8, all the room you want.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. You claim Jeff Burton led you to believe the Exide Select battery was only for race cars?
That's right, Your Honor.
And Mr. Burton?
Not guilty, Your Honor. All I said was the Exide 99 team needs a tough, reliable battery out on the track.
Hey, I need a reliable battery, too.
But, Your Honor,
That's enough.
The Exide Select battery. It's not just for race cars.
Award for the plaintiff.
I see a little silhouette of a can. Mountain Dew, time to do the slam dunk go. Citrus taste and crunching, very, very exciting me. Fantastico, Figaro. Here we go.
First anniversary, paper. 25th anniversary, silver. 100th anniversary, rubber. The Firestone 100th anniversary tire sale. 4 tires for $100. Happy anniversary.
Mark, they're professionals. They will take care of her.
I know, but she's my baby. What if they can't help her?
Mr. Stevenson, you've got that new starter in your car. She's ready.
Auto Value. We've got what you need.
Picture this, a life without worry, where problems are quickly solved. Picture a future that's financially secure for you and the ones you love. Picture Nationwide, with auto, home, and life insurance products to protect what you hold dear, and retirement planning to help you prepare for your future. If you can picture it, Nationwide can too. Nationwide, insurance, financial services on your side.
An equal housing opportunity insurer.
Elliott Sadler began the Food City 500 with high hopes of pulling off his first victory. So did Dale Earnhardt Jr. But early in the race, Elliott gets a bump from Dale Earnhardt Sr., sending Elliott up high, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. is also involved in the incident. Ronnie Gordon got a tap from Matt Kenseth a few laps ago, sending Gordon up into the 4th turn wall. So it's a typical Bristol race so far, with Jeff Gordon out front of Jeremy Mayfield, with 179 laps completed. Bobby Labonte is third, followed by Earnhardt and Rusty Wallace.
Jeff Gordon, the 24 car, just put his teammate Jerry Nadeau, the 25 car, lap down. And as he's caught this lap traffic, it's allowed Jeremy Mayfield to close right up on his back bumper. Chad Little, very gentlemanly-like, moves over.
He goes 2 laps down, didn't he? better days here.
Right directly in front of Jeff Gordon is a couple of cars that are in the lead lap. It's 11 of Brett Bodine and the 55 of Kenny Wallace,
who started on the outside of the front row. Take a look at our Nations Rent on-track interval, showing you the interval between Gordon, the leader, and Earnhardt in fourth, and he's shaved it down from 2.3 seconds to 1.6.
And you can see that Earnhardt's laps are pretty consistent, but as he runs across this traffic like right now, trying to pass the 97 car, his laps will slow.
And fans, if you're wondering where that one car is that Earnhardt was chasing, his car, well, he passed him while we were on break there a moment ago and was driven away.
There's Darrell Waltrip in the 66 car right behind Dale Earnhardt. Waltrip is now 2 laps down in 35th position on his victory tour, hoping that perhaps this could be the day that he could win another race at Bristol. At the line, we'll show you the fastest cars on the racetrack. Looks like Earnhardt that last time was the best. Well, make that Sterling Marlin.
Another car that's hitting on the backstretch, Bob. And the last time we had a note here a moment ago that Sterling Marlin was running 8th or something and came out of this in 21st position. And once again, Sterling Marlin is the quickest, but you see he's back at 15th spot, having again work his way back to the front.
Johnny Benson also shown among the fastest cars on the racetrack. There he is with Mike Skinner, now running in 10th and 11th.
And Dale Earnhardt goes into 3rd spot by Bobby Labonte.
Time Terry Labonte had the fastest lap. Marlin was 2nd, and Robert Presley was 3rd. But Earnhardt now is in 3rd position. Bobby Labonte in 4th. Sterling Marlin, meanwhile, is running back in the 14th position.
And just got by Jeff Burton to take over that position. You see, he started 28th, was up to, I think, the 8th spot at one time, and is now back in 14th. Once again, that backstretch hit sometimes can just be the kiss of death when it comes to trying to maintain your position.
Kenny Wallace, who started alongside Steve Park on the front row, goes a lap down here on lap 193.
Not quick.
Quite.
Not so quick, Bob. Oh, here's Jeremy Mayfield and Dale Earnhardt right behind them.
All 3 of them running nose to tail. Now Kenny is going to allow Jeff to get to the bottom lane.
And Jimmy Spencer, the Kmart Ford, right in front. Spencer is now in 23rd spot. Dale Earnhardt, is he going to try to make that pass? I think he's kind of tricked Jeremy into thinking he's going on the outside so he can go on the inside.
And now Bobby Labonte has caught up to Earnhardt, so it's a 4-car battle here as they lap Kenny Wallace. On board with Bobby. Jimmy Spencer is also going to go a lap down. So now 22 cars are on the lead lap.
Ned, this is exactly what you talked about at the top of the show. You have to be patiently aggressive. Now, I know that's a contradiction term, but that's exactly what Jeff Gordon is being.
Yes, he's aggressive when he needs to be. Here's Earnhardt being aggressive right there, trying to get on the inside of Jeremy Mayfield, but you also have to be patient. You can get the fenders knocking those cars awfully easy. Earnhardt now takes over that 2nd position.
Standing on their feet and cheering and clapping and saying, "Go Dale!"
What a season it has been for Dale Earnhardt in the year 2000. Had a very competitive run at Daytona, wound up finishing 21st, but was second at Rockingham, 8th at Las Vegas, won Atlanta, finished 3rd last week at Darlington. And here he is in 2nd position at Bristol.
He's making a statement saying, hey, I can still win my 8th championship.
Yeah, boys, that's the truth. And I talked about Michael Walker making a statement a little bit ago. Boys, that is a statement. Dale Earnhardt, he has made it every race this year.
This is 8th and 9th. Dale Jarrett is in 8th, looking back on the 9th place car of Bobby Hamilton. Hamilton closing in. Now Earnhardt up on the high side of the racetrack. They've got traffic in front of them. Let's see who emerges as the best in this little incident.
I think that bottom groove's going to work this time for Gordon.
Oh! Jeff Gordon catches the apron off turn 2. There's Dick Trickle. Jeff, come on now, Dick. Cut me some slack. Let me go. Oh, Trickle gets a little loose right in front of him. And I think Trickle had to squeeze off the gas when that happened, which allowed Jeff Gordon to get right in front of Earnhardt and a bump from Earnhardt.
Earnhardt, though, loose coming off the corner. And Jeremy Mayfield, don't forget about him. He's right there also. Now off the corner.
Boy, Dale Earnhardt's car right into the middle of the corner. Watch right there, he just is so much faster, but the high line is so difficult.
Well, he got a good run. He cut down on the inside. He cut down the hill, got some momentum, and here he goes.
Boy, he had a great run coming off the
corner. Not 3 deep. No, Jeremy. That won't work. Gordon said, that's enough of that. You guys go ahead. There's too many laps to go.
Exactly. Long way to go. Start slugging it out this early. 206 laps in. We're not quite to the halfway point. So Dale Earnhardt has put himself out front, becoming our 6th different leader of the afternoon. Earnhardt leads over Mayfield, Gordon, Steve Park, and Bobby Labonte. More from Bristol in a moment. Earnhardt.
Maybe you like your job. Maybe you like your boss. Maybe you like your salary. Maybe you like your commute. Maybe you don't. Maybe you just want to see what other opportunities are out there. If you can do this, you can get here. Visit the virtual job fair. You can get in touch with these companies for thousands of job opportunities. It's your career. Make it happen. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain.
So you got a set of tires from someplace for $99.99. But what you didn't know was installation and other necessities were not included. So you wound up paying $150. Son, they took you for a ride. At Scott's Tire, you'll get more. For $129.96, they'll supply you with 4 steel-belted all-season radials. That includes balance and valve stem, lifetime rotation, and installation at no extra charge. Don't go cross-eyed, try to read the fine print with those other places. Go see Scott's Tire in Gettysburg and Chambersburg.
Back on track, and who needs some fine-tuning? The 2000 Kart FedEx Champion Series opens on the oval by the beach. Toyota presents the Grand Prix of Miami, today at 4:30 on ESPN.
For Paul Correa and the Mighty Ducks, the playoffs start right now because they're on the outside looking in. Jeremy Roenick and the Coyotes would love to play the spoiler. Coyotes, Mighty Ducks, tonight at 8, only on ESPN. This is the game.
When we went to break, Dale Earnhardt was the leader of the race. He is now behind the wall, and it happens just that quickly here at Bristol. The 4th caution coming out on lap 208. Here's what happened. It all developed up in turn number 4.
There we see the spin. Looks like there's some contact between Kenny Irwin and maybe Matt Kenseth. And here comes Earnhardt and just clips him with the right rear of the Goodrich Chevrolet. And it really knocked that rear housing back. Watch Earnhardt. There we see the car coming off the wall. Earnhardt tries to go on the apron, and they meet at the apron of the racetrack. Jeremy Mayfield, Jeff Gordon all go to the inside. Earnhardt's car, luckily for himself and everyone else, stayed up against the outside retaining wall. When he drives off, the wheel flies off. He makes a pit stop. They change the tires. But when they got the tires off, they realized that the rear housing had been pushed back 5 or 6 inches.
Man, he was just cruising along so good, and then all of a sudden, there she went. Pit stops coming up. Bill Weber.
Jeremy Mayfield on pit road. He's had a one stop in 16.14, another stop in 16.58. He has said his car is perfect, no changes. This is the Rocky Camp car. He finished 7th, his best of the year. Kateri in the 24.
Slight air pressure adjustment. They talked about a wedge adjustment, but they have not made an adjustment thus far. A little bit tight in the middle of the corner. Great pit stop, 15.38 seconds. Let's go over to John Kernan. Mark Martin pulls in. His car has been tight all day. He's told the crew, I want you to loosen it up till I can't stand it anymore. So they make another wedge adjustment in the right rear. They swing around to the left side as the guys who pitted on the front stretch are already blasting down the back stretch. Good pit stop in the corner. Mark Martin's down and away, but it looks like Johnny Benson's going to beat him out.
And Michael Walter beats both of them out.
Those pitted on the backstretch rejoin the field as it goes slowly through turn number 2.
Ned mentioned Michael Walter, but I think we need to update him. He was running second or third when the caution flag came out. He changed 4 tires. And evidently, his car did not like 4 tires. He changed 2, and it ran so well. But now, after that last stop, he changed 4. But he'd fallen back to about 10th or 11th on the pit stop. And then he lost 3 or 4 more spots as the race progressed. I think he was about 15th when this caution flag came out.
Well, here's the incident that has changed the complexion of this race altogether. Kenny Irwin spins, and Dale Earnhardt, leading at the time, clips him, sending the number 3 Goodwrench Chevrolet behind the wall for repairs. That has given the lead once again to Jeff Gordon. We'll be right back.
At Enterprise Rent-A-Car, when you call us, we don't just pick up the phone. We pick you up.
This is great.
Thank you.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Hi.
Oh, yeah, hi.
You seem a little slow there.
Well, I was stunned by your beauty. Buy you a Miller Lite, it tastes great.
Sure, but I like it because it's less filling.
Huh? Well, opposites attract. You want to go someplace in town?
Yeah.
Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
Rookie.
I'm Steve Kirby. These are my mountains. I test emissions for Ford Motor Company. We're up here in the Rockies testing Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury sport utility vehicles. We're really concerned about the environment. Every SUV we sell this year is going to be low emissions. These vehicles average 35% less smog-forming emissions than the government requires. 35%. That's really amazing. The government doesn't make us do this. We're doing this for my mountains. Better ideas.
For cars with over 75,000 miles, life has just begun. Introducing Valvoline Max Life Motor Oil.
ESPN's coverage of the Food City 500, presented by WrenchHead.com from Bristol, being brought to you by Ford Motor Company. Better ideas. By Daytona USA, the official attraction of NASCAR. And by Valvoline. You can always tell the guys who use Valvoline. Down to Jerry Punch.
9-time Bristol winner Dale Earnhardt sits in the car. I'm with RCR. Richard Childress is calling from RC. How bad does the car hurt?
I've been through it. Got the rear housing, everything underneath the back of it. We're just going to have to get it out and try to get as many points as we can. You know, it's a shame. You know, the car was working good. Dale was doing a great job. It's Bristol. What can you say?
What can you say about How about the steering? I heard him say the steering wheel moved over 3 inches. How about the front suspension?
Well, we don't think the front's hurt that bad. We think the rear housing was knocked around so far is what reason he was correcting the steering wheel so far.
Okay, Richard Childress, a lot of damage on the third place man in the points. Tough break for the Intimidator.
Green flag waves. We are back to competition. Earnhardt's trying to get back into the race. If he does not, it'll be his first DNF here at Bristol since 1981. Jeremy Mayfield right on the rear spoiler. Jeff Gordon for the lead.
And that's what we saw the last time. As Jeremy goes by and takes the lead. We saw the car on fresh tires. Jeremy was quicker. And here comes Rusty Wallace, his teammate. This could be a great day for Roger Penske Racing
Rusty back to second position now.
And car number 55, Kenny Wallace, is trying to get back on the lead lap.
And Trickle gets in the side of Jeff Gordon up in the corner.
And Steve Park now will go to the inside line, and Gordon may lose a couple of more spots.
Jeff Gordon is racing for his life, trying to get in front of Dick Trickle, and looks like he's going to make it.
Yep.
I think he needed just a couple of laps on those tires before he could really feel confident driving it hard into the corners. He's gotten by that car of Trickle now, so he should be okay and should be able to catch the other cars back.
Now, Dick Trickle is 2 laps down, running in 29th position. So this is not a battle for position. They're just trying to root him out of the way. Down to John Kernan.
Bad news for Bill Elliott as he has pulled his car behind the wall, not because of contact or anything out on the racetrack, but because of a transmission problem. So they're having to change the transmission. So Elliott, who's been off to such a great start this season, is also experiencing problems, losing lap after lap as they put in a new transmission.
Back to the leader, that's Jeremy Mayfield, and he is leading his first laps of the 2000 season. Last time he led was at Atlanta, the final race of 1999. He's our 7th different leader so far, and we've had 9 lead changes. Here's the 22 of Ward Burton running 5th.
Just past Dale Jarrett for that position.
Jerry Nadeau there in the 25 car is not on the lead lap. He is 21st, a lap down. And Bobby Hamilton continues to look strong here. He's in 7th.
Quite a few lap cars between he and the 6th place car. Bobby Labonte is right on his back bumper. Bobby dropped a few positions on that last pit stop. Bobby Labonte, I should say. Got 2 Bobbies running together there. Perhaps they made some adjustments on his interstate batteries Pontiac. Took a little extra time.
Oh! And here comes Bobby Labonte on the inside of Bobby Hamilton.
You have to be very patient here, and you have to, part of that patience is waiting for the opportunity, the right opportunity to make that pass. That's where the patience and the aggressiveness works together. You sit there and be very patient for that opportunity to come along, then you got to get very aggressive to take advantage of that opportunity because it isn't going to be there long.
Now he'll just wait again and hope that Bobby Hamilton gets impatient and gets on the gas or tries to pass the 14 car, gets his car out of shape, and then Labonte will just pounce right on that opportunity.
Field summary will show you the points. Look at Dale Earnhardt. He's already dropped 2 spots down to 5th, and as long as he's behind the wall, may continue to lose spots. Tony Stewart down 7 to 13 as he is already out of the race. And boy, Hamilton just doing everything he can to move Dick Trickle over to pass him, but hasn't been able to do so yet. Now he does.
And then Fender alongside him going into the corner, and Trickle spotter probably told him, said, hey, don't cut down. It'll be a wreck.
12th, 13th, 14th, 15th on back. Michael Waltrip at the front of that line.
Matt Skinner caught up on the outside once again. We saw that earlier in the race, and he lost a lot of position. Skinner in the car number 31, the Lowe's Chevrolet. Here's Brett Woodine in car number 11 coming on the inside. However, Brett is 1 lap down. He is in the 25th position.
As Mark Martin gets on the inside of Michael Waltrip. Oh, and Michael gets extremely high, loses 2 spots. Almost got too high.
On the first pit stop sequence, Michael Waltrip took only
right side tires and made up a lot of ground on the racetrack, and we saw him hold his own near the front of the pack. The second pit stop, they took on 4. His third pit stop just a few laps ago, it was a right side tire change for Michael, but it doesn't seem to be working out as well as it did the first time. But although he did get caught up high, and as you guys have pointed out, being up in that high line just doesn't seem to work.
Johnny's got a lot more laps on those left side tires than he did the first time when he just put on right side tires. That could make a difference as well.
Now that, folks, is a traffic jam.
At 125 miles an hour.
Song about the 5 o'clock 500. Well, that's about what we got going on right here.
Mark Martin going around Kyle Petty in the number 44 car. He is a lap down in what, 24th there?
Yes, 24th position. Haven't seen much of Kyle today, but he's been out there quietly running okay, but he is a lap down.
There is Jeremy Mayfield, who continues to lead, but there is the second-place car of Rusty Wallace.
And the 75 car, Wally Dallenbach, you saw the...
Look at the Nation's Rent on-track interval between Jeremy Mayfield and Rusty Wallace. You see Rusty quietly, slowly getting closer and closer to his teammate, Jeremy. Bill Weber?
Benny, Rusty's in a brand-new race car for this race. Jeremy's in the car that he drove at Rockingham. Jeremy Mayfield did not come and test here, but Rusty Wallace did. Over the past year or so, these two quote-unquote teammates have seen their paths drift apart. But this year, they are working more and more closely together. At Las Vegas, Mayfield got into the 2-car to try and help Rusty qualify. After Rusty protested here, they share the notes with a 12 team. Right now, it's paying off for both teams, and that's their goal, to Jerry Carter.
And in Rusty's last pit stop, they made an air pressure adjustment in the right front tire. That may have helped, but what helped more than anything at all was they had the best pit stop this young over-the-wall crew has had all year long. 15.12 seconds. That got them pumped up, and it got their driver pumped up as he was leaving pit road.
And the leader of the over-the-wall crew, there he is, Robin Pepperton. Boy, that track position is so important, and when your crew can get you out a couple of spots ahead, it could mean the difference. Back in a moment.
It's cool, it's fast, it's easy to use. It's the online automotive superstore with millions of brand name parts and accessories to choose from. Replacement parts, performance parts, free shipping too. It's the place on the web for people who really love their wheels. www.wrenchhead.com. The proud sponsor of Monster Jam. Wrenchhead.com. Parts online all the time.
Well, some days, I'm not a foreman, I'm a circus juggler. I got product coming off the lines, warehouses filling up. Sometimes things get a little crazy. I call Nation's Rent. Whatever I need, whenever I need it, they bring it out. Newer stuff, names I know. So it works. And it's one less ball I got to keep in the air.
Nation's Rent carries JLG, boom and scissor lifts, and vertical mast products.
They make it happen for me.
Nation's Rent. 1-800-NO-SWEAT.
I see a little silhouette of a can. Mountain Dew, time to do the slam dunk go. Citrus taste and quenching, very, very exciting me. Fantastico, 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 Figaro. Here we go.
So what you're saying is you can't change your oil every 3,000 miles because you're too busy. So you push it. Just like your cheap brother-in-law at one of those all-you-can-eats. Hey, it's your car. You want to learn the hard way? Be my guest. This is reformulated Quaker State. Protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. You ought to change your oil on time, but if you can't, can you say insurance? Quaker State. It's been tested. It works. What more do you need to know?
Stuart and I get the playoff picture back from the darkroom when we come back.
We're clear.
Oh, the prompter's going too fast. I can't keep
Come
up.
on, it's not the teleprompter. It's you. Now stop the...
My throat, I can hardly talk.
Give him some tea. Give him some tea.
I can't go back out there. I don't want to go back out. Cut me. Cut me, Lou.
Come on, baby. Come on. Snap out of it. Don't be a lollipop. Get out there. Tonight's your night.
Oh, without question, these days, the word on everybody's lips.
Dale Earnhardt started the Food City 500 in 11th position. Kenny Irwin spun. Earnhardt was leading when he clipped Irwin, and that has put the number 3 GM Goodwrench Chevy behind the wall. He shucked the right rear as he came onto pit road, and then the crew went to work on it, trying to get him back out there. But chances of victory for Dale Earnhardt are gone today. In the lead right now is Jeremy Mayfield, with just a slight advantage over his teammate Rusty Wallace, with Jeff Gordon running third.
Gordon is slowly catching back up. He's been about almost 3 seconds behind. He's got it down now to about 1.5 seconds. That could be partly because of the traffic that Jeremy Mayfield and Rusty Wallace there fighting some heavy traffic right now.
We saw Bill Elliott just a moment ago behind the wall, changing the transmission. He is back. The transmission change has been completed. And Elliott is, what, 42 laps behind the leaders right now.
Jeremy Mayfield was a provisional starter in both races here at Bristol last year. He started 17th today and has been leading for the last 46 laps.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. was involved in an incident on the very first lap. But look right now, he's keeping up with the Rusty Wallace, staying right on his back bumper.
Junior, however, is 10 laps down, back in 36th position. And as far as the Raybestos Rookie of the Year points are concerned, Kenseth in top of the point standings coming into this race. Earnhardt Jr. is second. Stacy Compton and Dave Blaney and Jeff Fuller are the top 5. Pruitt didn't make today's race. Neither did Ed Barrier. And, of course, Mike Bliss has been replaced in the A.J. Foyt car by Dick Trickle. Now we see the 33 car of Joe Nemechek, the Queensburg in second.
Nemechek is in the 19th position. Now.
We have passed the halfway mark. Jeremy Mayfield was leading at halfway, and so far in the first 5 races of the year 2000, 2 drivers leading at the halfway point have gone on to win.
The 77 car, Robert Presley, right directly in front of the leader, Jeremy Mayfield, currently running in 16th position on the tail end of the lead lap. He's wanting to stay there because a caution flag at Bristol is not unheard of.
Robert Presley's first top 10 finish in his Winston Cup career came here at Bristol in April of 1995. Well, we know where the 12 and the 2 are. How about the 24? Ooh, he's right there with Rusty Wallace, isn't he?
He's now just 1 second behind the leader. And only about 0.3 of a second behind Rusty Wallace. Now, do you suppose that they start the runs with some pretty low air pressure, and as the race progresses and they build up that air pressure, his car starts handling better?
We're talking about Jeff Gordon. I believe, yes, that he definitely needs to take it easy for a few laps, not to dump it down on that right front corner too hard the first couple of laps and build that air pressure up, because it'll get it out of the balance that you want if you aren't careful, and probably with the low air pressure and wait for it to build up consistently.
And Steve Park back there, the Porsche, the Pennzoil Chevrolet, is just not. We see the yellow car back there going on the inside of Dick Trickle. So he isn't that far. He's only a second and a third behind the leader.
Steve has kept himself right up at the front of the field, looking for his first NASCAR Winston Cup win.
We'll check Rusty Wallace, see what kind of RPMs he'll be turning this time as he accelerates off turn 2. 8,400.
About 129 miles an hour, down to below 100 at the slowest point of the racetrack.
And watch down the front straightaway. Once again, almost 8,500. On fresh tires, we probably will see these cars turning 86, 8,700 RPM. And as the tires get hot, the car starts slowing down. And look at Jeff Gordon close in right on the back bumper of Rusty Wallace.
These guys have had some battles on the short track, including here at Bristol. Jeff Gordon and Rusty Wallace.
Yep, Rusty has won 7 times here. He's the defending champion of the race.
I think he ran second.
He was running first as they came around to get the checkered flag. Got a little tap going into turn 3 and Gordon went on to win it.
There is Park, just a couple of car lengths behind Gordon. Now closing in rapidly.
Wow, and that's going to let Steve Park get on the inside of Jeff Gordon. Battle for third. Oh! Whoa!
Jeremy Mayfield's got 2 lap cars between he and that battle we was watching for second. He lost that.
These 2 lap cars are Kyle Petty and Robert Presley.
Robert goes up the racetrack and being the gentleman he is, moves over, lets Rusty go, and I would expect to do the same thing with Jeff Gordon and Steve Park. Yes, he does. And Robert did about all he could. He ran out in front of those leaders for maybe 10 laps, trying to stay in front of them, hoping the caution flag would come out, but finally, you know if you stayed out there long enough, you're going to be in a fray because they're going to run in the back of you.
Jeremy Mayfield, meanwhile, has opened up a lead that exceeds 1 1/4 seconds.
And while they were fighting that traffic back there, they just motored right on. He motored right on the way.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. continues to have problems here at Bristol. We're on board with him. This was a couple of laps ago, and way up out of the groove. Boom. Right next to Dale Jarrett. But Earnhardt continues the pursuit.
And he's running as hard as he can and goes by Chad Little. Steve Park once again putting some pressure on Jeff Gordon. They went across that slow car of Kyle Petty. He was trying to find his opportunity to get by Jeff. Did not present itself.
So Park continues to run in the 4th position. There is the leader, Jeremy Mayfield, and the interval between himself and teammate Rusty Wallace is 1.26 seconds. 17 cars on the lead lap. Here are the top 5. Jeremy Mayfield, Rusty Wallace, Jeff Gordon, Steve Park, and Ward Burton. 6 through 10, Jarrett, Bobby Labonte, Marlin, Hamilton, and Martin.
You keep an eye on the websites your kids are looking at. You make sure your wife's cell phone battery is fully charged. And you haven't missed a day of work in 12 years. So it comes as no surprise that your auto parts are AC Delco. When the right way is the only way. AC Delco Automotive Parts.
Head for the mountains of Busch Beer, proud sponsor of the NASCAR Busch Series.
This is the face of erectile dysfunction. So is this. And this. Fact is, 1 in 3 men have some form of ED, a medical condition also called impotence that It affects men of every age, race, and background. What else do all these men have in common? They all faced up to their problem and got help. If you're experiencing ED, there's no need to hide your face. Just talk to your doctor. It's the best way to get educated about ED and how to treat it.
Gladiator, rated R. Starts Friday, May 5th.
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway in the Food City 500, presented by WrenchHead.com. I'm Bob Jenkins, along with Benny Parsons, Ned Jarrett, John Kernan, Bill Weber, and Dr. Jerry Punch. Three latter mentions in a very noisy pit area down in the infield here.
So now Jeremy Mayfield had opened the gap up between himself and Rusty Wallace for about a second and a half. And then the traffic came into play, and now Rusty Wallace, you can see, just about a half second behind his teammate, Jeremy Mayfield. Well, it's going to be about a quarter of a second time to get back to the line.
Jeremy on the inside of Brett Bodine up ahead.
There's 3 laps down.
Kevin LePage up there in the purple and white FamilyClick.com sponsored car.
I beg your pardon, there's 2 laps down for Brett Bodine.
Here's the Pennzoil copter cam as we see Rusty move to the inside of Kevin LePage. Thanks to the people at Pennzoil for the Pennzoil copter cam.
And Steve Park is right on the back bumper of Jeff Gordon.
A little high side traffic there. If those drivers move up out of the way, Kevin LePage is car number 16, Kenny Schrader in car number 36. In that bottom groove. So that's what these drivers on the lead lap want.
Jeremy Mayfield about to complete the 300th lap. We've got 200 to go. So far, Jeff Gordon has led the most laps, 159. Mayfield has led 85. And Wallace now begins once again to close in on Mayfield. Other leaders, Park, Wartburton, Earnhardt, Michael Waltrip, and Jeff Fuller. Jerry?
One of the reasons Rusty Wallace is running so well right now is what happened yesterday afternoon in happy hour, the final hour of practice. This crew here, this Miller Lite crew, worked their tails off. Listen to what they changed. They put 3 right rear springs in.
Oh, we got a spin, Jerry.
Right in front of the leaders.
Gordon just escaping being involved in that. Jerry, they've stopped spinning, so back to you.
Well, they changed 3 right rear springs, 2 left rear, 2 right front, 1 left front, a sway bar, used 12 shocks, and 5 sets of tires, all in the 2 car during happy hour to get it as good as it is today. Obviously, that work paid off.
Yes, indeed. Well, again, we have an incident on the racetrack very close to the leaders. It's our 5th caution of the afternoon, and it comes out on lap 303.
Now, these cars had pitted on lap 209. Let's see Jeff Fuller, the white car up on the outside. There's some contact with Brett Bodine, and which caused both those. Oh, I'm sorry, that's a 75 car of Wally Dallenbach, and they just kind of spin, synchronized spinning.
The 11 car was involved, though. Brett Bodine was involved. There's the contact between Dallenbach and Fuller in the synchronized spin, and there is Gordon sneaking through, and you can see Steve Park having contact with Brett Bodine.
Exactly, that's what caused Brett Bodine to spin around. Okay.
Pits are open. Here we go again, Ned. Down to Bill Weber.
No changes for Mayfield. It's 4 tires and fuel. Watch for good stops and heavy traffic. They're on pit road. Mayfield's away cleanly. Jerry.
Left side tires for Rusty Wallace. Air pressure, 1 pound adjustment in the left rear of the car. A little bit tight. Rusty is down and away, but Mayfield has already gone by. Let's go to John.
Sterling Marlin has decided to make no changes on the car. He's passed a lot of cars today. Keep working his way from the back to the front. It'll be a 4-tire change. As there goes Jeff Gordon, Jeremy Mayfield, Rusty Wallace, and Steve Parkby. They're all pitted on the front stretch. A definite hindrance pitted here on the back stretch. Likely the 4-tire change is going to beat Sterling now.
Come on, you beat him. Hard.
And it looked like Johnny Benson might have beaten him out. That's a pretty close call. We'll have to let NASCAR decide that.
So we are slowed once again in the Food City 500. Spin here off corner number 4 on the main straightaway. Contact between Fuller and Dollenbach. Brett Bodine also involved. We'll return after these messages.
4, 3, 2, 1.
The future is now with GS Digital Cable.
HTS wants to send you to New York City to see the O's play the Yanks twice and go to the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. Enter the Live with the Legends sweepstakes at GS Communications. Or send a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to this address. Or enter at HTSonline.com or theorioles.com. The grand prize will be awarded at Cable Night at Oriole Park on May 2nd. So bring your cable bills to the game and get $5 off any $15 ticket. Enter to win the Live with the Legends sweepstakes. And you might win a trip to New York City and Cooperstown.
Backed by 200 years of tradition, lawmen who risked their lives, walking the line of justice and judgment, protecting the innocent and the guilty.
We do our job regardless of personal opinions.
From the Whiskey Rebellion to the Old West and beyond, the history behind the badge, U.S. Marshals, begins Monday, April 10th on the History Channel.
The Rose Bowl of Motorsports, that's Bristol Motor Speedway. And this is the Food City 500 presented by Wrenchhead.com. Under caution, 307 laps completed. Tomorrow morning, I and probably thousands of other people will jump on the NASCAR website to get the official finish of this race and all the other races that have occurred in the NASCAR ranks over the weekend. www.nascar.com, NASCAR online. We're going to sneak in another quick break here while we're under caution. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You know, my first racing days were pretty rough. With my wheels set so close together, I was always getting loose in the turns. Now that I'm trading paint with the big boys, wider is better.
With speed-sensitive steering, the White Track Grand Prix delivers precise control in the corners. No wonder it's been selected official pace car of NASCAR.
There's no getting around it. Wider is...
The White Track Grand Prix. Wider is better. By Pontiac.
Listen, I've traveled every road in this here land. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathed the mountain air, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been to Reno, Chicago.
Across America, in communities just like yours, Citgo is there to help keep you going. Stop by next time you're in the neighborhood. We're always happy to see a familiar face.
I've been everywhere.
You missed the spot.
Presenting The Day at the Gordons, where racing champion Jeff Gordon and his wife Brooke eat new Fritos Chili and Scoops. A hearty cup of chili and loads of Fritos corn chips. It's fast, it's filling, it's Fritos. Perfect for people on the go. New Fritos Chili and Scoops and Sloppy Joe and Scoops. Nothing goes faster.
Una chela?
Chela. Yeah, I'll never understand Mexican women.
Why? We're just like Puerto Rican women.
Well, when I want a Miller Lite, I just say hija, and you say...
Una chela, por favor.
And I drink mine straight from the bottle. You?
I like mine in a tall, slender glass.
Well, I drink Miller Lite because it tastes great.
And that because it has a smooth, dirty, sexy finish.
I'm beginning to understand.
Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
Una chela, por favor.
The rigid 10-inch table saw powers through even the toughest hardwoods. The oscillating sander converts from spindle to edge belt sanding in seconds. Engineered for power and precision, each and every rigid tool carries a lifetime warranty. But when it comes to something with even more power, Rigid's got that too. Rigid, available at the Home Depot.
The Pennzoil Copter Cam is circling overhead of this incredible crowd that is gathered here this afternoon. 155,000 seats, every single one of them filled for today's race. All right, our fifth caution of the day is a result of this incident. That is Jeff Fuller and Wally Dallenbach getting together up in turn number 4. Steve Park and Brett Bodine will have contact right there, sending Brett Bodine into a slide. And now, Benny, if you were one of the 155,000 sitting down there near the accident, this is what you would have seen and heard.
Well, I'm one of the 155, but I didn't hear a thing because I'm up in this nice air-conditioned booth, but I do appreciate those folks down there.
Well, we have 4 cars and we're actually involved in the crash. It'll be interesting to see how Steve Park's car performs after we go green. He is still running in the 4th position, but he was one of the 4 cars involved in the crash. Jerry?
We were just bragging a moment ago how well Rusty Wallace has proved at doing over the wall with that 15.12-second stop. This last stop was 16.7 seconds, but there was a reason. A local photographer walked into the Miller Lite pit and was standing on Billy Wilburn's air hose, and he couldn't get the hose to reach the lug nuts in the right front tire. They had to push the guy off the hose and change tires. That cost them almost 2 seconds. Needless to say, that guy has been removed.
I bet that's right. We're getting set to go back to caution, or rather green. Jeff Gordon having won the race off. Mayfield, Wallace, Park, and Bobby Labonte, the top 5. Might mention, Ned, that the 43 car actually got to the line before the leaders on that caution, but NASCAR has put him back a lap down.
They have to take that lap away that he got back, so whatever the circumstance was, either the leaders had taken the caution when they came by, or in which we don't think that was happening, that he raced back there when there were cars sitting on the racetrack right at the start.
So John Andretti is 2 laps down now in the 25th position, and Robert Presley, who is just a lap down at 18th, is between 1st and 2nd.
Well, he'd like Jeff Gordon to slip a little bit up there so he can get back on the lead lap. Jeremy Mayfield.
Oh, there's going to be a slip right now, almost a big-time slip there, Ned.
Yeah. Jeremy said, hey, I need to get back up there, that guy. He's beginning to pull away. Gordon's off to a much better start this time than he was the last restart. Now, Preston moves high, and Jeremy goes down on the inside. Rusty will follow him through as well.
Robert says, man, these guys are serious.
Robert has a good race car.
Yes, he does.
It's just unfortunate that he wasn't quite good enough to stay on the lead lap, but he's been running very well. As Bob says, he's in the 18th position, 17 cars on the lead lap.
And it looks like Steve Park is okay. He's hanging right in there.
Sterling Marlin, and, you know, I talked about in NASCAR today about 2 pit roads. Sterling Marlin was running 8th on lap 40. Made a pit stop in the back, came out 21st. Lap 210, he was 10th, came out 16th. This time he goes to pit 7th, and comes out 13th. We keep talking about what a huge distance. Now, maybe the pit crew has been slow back there, but still it's a huge disadvantage having to pit on the backstretch.
They are talking about making pit road a single pit road here at Bristol in the future. On the other hand, Benny, Mark Martin, who's also pitted on the backstretch, actually gained 3 positions on a pit stop on lap 40. stayed the same on lap 141, lost 4 on lap 210, and on the most recent series of pit stops, Martin held his position also in the 9th position.
Another guy that's done okay pitting on the back stretch is Johnny Benson in that Lyco car number 10. He's passing Jeff Burton there right now down on the inside. So he's kept himself on the lead lap and in the thick of things all day long.
And Jeff Burton all of a sudden loses 3 positions before you can say Jeff Burton lost 3 positions.
Jeff back to 13th spot now. Jeff Burton has finished 5th or better in 4 of the last 5 races here. A year ago this time, Jeff Burton was the points leader in NASCAR Winston Cup competition, took the points lead after Darlington, held it for 6 races, and then guess who took over? Ed?
Well, Battlefield DJ took over at Richmond not too long after this and never relinquished the lead.
That's right. Held it the rest of the year.
Sterling Marlin goes by Terry Labonte.
Man, he's passed a lot of race cars today. Saw Dale Earnhardt Jr. there just a moment ago. He's still fast. He's 10 laps down. Back there in 36th position, but he's still pretty fast.
Might continue that his dad remains behind the wall. They continue to work on the number 3 car, Dale Earnhardt, back in 39th position right now. Let's go now to John Kernan with more on the Sterling Marlin run.
Well, yesterday we saw Sterling Marlin win the Busch Series race. So you're about sitting at home, you might think, well, he probably took that same setup off the Busch Series car that ran so well on Saturday and used that same setup on his Winston Cup car. Well, I asked the team about that, and they told me, no, you know, the Busch car is 105-inch wheelbase, the Winston Cup 110-inch wheelbase, and is 100 pounds more weight in a Winston Cup car than a Busch car, so we can't really use the same setup. This is a totally different setup from what he had in the Busch race. However, Sterling likes the feel of the car. All they've done all day long under a pit stop is change tires. Haven't seen him make any adjustments to that car.
Sterling doing well.
Bobby Hamilton's Briggs and Stratton on board. Cameron, we see the rear bumper. That car in front of him is Mark Martin, and it looks like the rear bumper cover is loose.
There it is, flapping.
Don't think that's affecting his race car too much right now.
I don't think so either, Ned, as a matter of fact.
Mark's running 8th.
6.5 seconds behind the leader.
And speaking of the leader, it is Jeff Gordon, who has about a half-second advantage on Jeremy Mayfield. We've completed 332 laps of the 500 that make up the Food City 500, presented by RaceHead.com.
Enterprise? Hi, my car's out of commission, so I'm out of commission.
Enterprise will arrange to pick you up,
This is great.
drive you to our place, and get you on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
The day's not over yet. If you stop at Red Roof Inn and get a room you can always count on, or take your chances somewhere else.
Ah, the room that time forgot.
I've heard people say that too much of anything is not good for you, baby. But I don't know about that. It doesn't seem to me like it's enough. It's just not enough.
One look at the Yamaha Roadstar, the world's biggest V-twin cruiser, and you won't be able to get enough either.
Morning, Joe.
Morning.
Here's your bank statement.
Excellent. Seen the latest mortgage rates? Not too shabby. So, how are we looking?
We're up 2.5.
How about you, Joe?
Imagine your entire financial world at your fingertips. Introducing OnMoney.com, where you can see and manage all your accounts all in one place.
Whoa! Hey, that reminds me, Joe. Your gas bill's been paid.
Get your money connected at OnMoney.com.
send your phone company a message. Join us at phonefree.com, and calling long distance will be totally free. And you know something? So will you. Phonefree.com. Let freedom ring.
From the quarter mile at St. Louis to the third turn at Talladega to the pits of Laguna Seca. Wherever innovation is the margin between win and lose, the pros reach for the same tools you do. Craftsman, the official tools of CART, NHRA, and NASCAR.
Mesa Marin Raceway in Bakersfield, California is one of the toughest short tracks in the West, and the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series will be there later this afternoon with the action. Mike Wallace, we understand, will be on the pole position when they take the green flag for the Dodge California 250 at 7 o'clock tonight, part of our auto racing triple header, including this one. Up next is the Grand Prix of Miami for the CART FedEx Championship Series, and then the truck race at 7 on ESPN2. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of Go Network, go.com. Well, there's Jeff Gordon continuing to lead.
And now we've had a change in second place as Rusty Wallace is closing in on Jeff Gordon. It looks like, I thought a moment ago that the 12 of Jeremy Mayfield might have some problems, but it looks like he might get back up to speed now.
Rusty has taken second, dropping Jeremy back to third. Bobby Labonte runs fourth, and Steve Park is fifth. A change of position there recently as Labonte was able to get around Steve Park. And this is how the second place exchanged a few laps ago.
Just Rusty Wallace, I think Jeremy realized Rusty was faster because he caught him from about a half second or second behind and quickly, so he just moved over, let him go by.
Boy, Rusty is closing in on Jeff Gordon now. Look how close he comes.
Right now, that Miller Lite Ford is flying, man. When I look on the computer up there, he's about a mile per hour. Look at 1 mile per hour faster than Jeff Gordon.
Doesn't make up that distance in a hurry, but as we say so many times, catching him is one thing and passing him is another.
Let's see, this time we saw 8,600 RPMs as Jeff Gordon goes on the outside, tries to get on the outside of Kyle Petty. Kyle Petty's back in 26 spot. He's now 3 laps down. Oh, Rusty Wallace went on the outside and lost a lot of ground.
We're looking back on Jeff Gordon from Bill Elliott, McDonald's Ford. He's 42 laps down, having spent that many laps behind the wall fixing the transmission. He's running 38.
And for you Dale Earnhardt fans, he is still behind the wall making repairs on the Goodwrench Chevrolet.
Just 2 cars listed as out of the race. That would be Tony Stewart and Ted Musgrave. Bobby Hamilton and Mark Martin are in a battle for the 7th spot.
Robbie Gordon up in front of that group, the Duracell Ford. That's some Robert Presley saves it. How did he do that?
Man, nice job.
How did he do that? And those guys barely broke stride.
Elliott Sadler was almost involved in another incident.
Here's Sterling Marlin coming back into the picture again. Just keeps passing race cars.
Back up to the 10th position. I think it was 16th that he had fallen back to after that last pit stop. What's this going in turn 3? Mid high in the world, he saved this thing.
See, Mark Martin comes up on him. He's the blue car right there. Gets loose, the back end goes all the way around. You're supposed to spin out there. Robert Presley did a great job of driving and a great job with the others by missing him.
I think that Robert just kind of turned it back to the right, kind of just played with the throttle and didn't jump out of the throttle, just kind of kept a little power on, and somehow the car came back straight.
causing some top running cars.
And Presley did not lose a position because of that. He remains in 18th. There's a shot once again of Darrell Waltrip, who is in 30th spot. Well, although they're running close together on the racetrack, Jerry, you say that they're geared differently, the 24 and the 2?
Exactly. The 24 car, there's a lot of discussion this morning about gears. The 24 car opted to go with a 5.29 gear, meaning he's turning about 8,600 to 8,700 RPM. But Rusty Wallace and his teammate, Jeremy Mayfield, and the 18 car, Bobby Labonte, felt that when the track got very hot and slick, they would need more gear to get up off the corner and be able to pass people. So they have gone with a 543 gear, and they are turning, he said they would probably turn somewhere close to 9,000 RPM.
Well, Jerry, once again, as you make reports, there's a caution flag on the racetrack. Robbie Gordon is spun over between 1 and 2, and this time the left rear tire, well, I guess he was just bailing again to get going. I thought the tire was rubbing the fender, not the case.
In any case, it does bring out our 6th caution. Robbie Gordon's 2nd incident of the day.
And puts them in a window if they make a pit stop, which I'm sure they will, that they should be able to go the rest of the way as far as gas is concerned. But running 139 laps, so I don't know if they can go that long without a caution or not.
Martin goes in the corner behind Robbie Gordon, but Robbie just loses control going down in the corner, nails the gas, trying to keep it off the wall, and almost succeeded.
Down to Bill Weber.
Once again, no schedule changes for Jeremy Mayfield's car. It's not that his car was going away. It's that Rusty's car was getting better. 4 tires bolting on the left side. Mayfield's on his way toward Jerry Hunt.
Left side tires for Jeff Gordon. Now left side tires going on Rusty Wallace. Left side tires on both cars. Gordon is down and away. Here's Rusty and teammate Mayfield. It's a drag race to the line. Let's go to John Turner in the back pits.
Mark Martin getting 4 fresh tires, no changes. Here come the leaders down the back stretch. They also had to rip off that rear bumper cover that we saw flapping in the wind just a little while ago. Tires have changed. Martin is down and away, no adjustment.
17-second pit stop for Martin as he rolls out. Sterling Marlin will come out right behind him, and then Johnny Benson. And the number 3 car, Dale Earnhardt, is back in the race. So once again, the caution here at Bristol Motor Speedway, this time for a spin involving Robbie Gordon. Jeff Gordon is the leader. We'll be right back.
You know, my first racing days were pretty rough. With my wheels set so close together, I was always getting loose in the turns. Now that I'm trading paint with the big boys, wider is better.
With speed-sensitive steering, the White Track Grand Prix delivers precise control in the corners. No wonder it's been selected official pace car of NASCAR.
There's no getting around it. Wider is...
The White Track Grand Prix. Wider is better. By Pontiac.
With Quikrete, there's nothing to be afraid of. Quikrete takes the fear out of working with concrete.
The Metrics Personal Trainer Contest has changed my life in so many ways. I'm ecstatic about the way I look, and I've got a new outlook on life. I'm just totally stoked about where I am right now and where I'm going in the future. Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life. Metrics, thank you so much for helping me change my life.
Right now, save 20% on all Metrics sports products, only at GNC.
Bad cheetah.
See? This
why I'm not a cat person.
Back to racing here at Bristol, and here is the battle for the lead. Jeff Gordon was on the point when they took the green flag, but now, 3 laps later, Jeremy Mayfield gets the advantage.
And once again, on these restarts, the 24 DuPont Chevrolet just doesn't seem to be as fast as Jeremy Mayfield.
Now, on that last restart, he was, Benny. The one before this one, but this time, Mayfield got the best of him.
That's a good point. You're right, he was. But now the last time, after they run about 30 or 40 laps, Rusty Wallace extremely quick. We see Dale Jarrett right on the back bumper of Steve Park. This is battle for the 5th position.
They were sad before that position, before the caution came out. Not quite this close, but they were only about 2 car lengths apart then.
Bobby Hamilton, Ward Burton following these twosome.
And right behind Hamilton, Ward Burton is running in the 8th position. Guys running 116.6 and 116.9 respectively, while the leader Mayfield last lap turned a speed of 117.8.
And right now DJ seems to have his hands full. That is Steve Park is kind of driven away, and Hamilton right on his back bumper.
Yes, he's having trouble in the corner. Looks like coming off of the corner. The car is looks like they're pushing out a little bit or something on him.
Dale Jarrett realizes his car is a little slower than Hamilton, so he kind of gives him the room, and Hamilton goes to that 6th position.
All of this from the Pennzoil Copter Cam. Dale Jarrett had his worst finish of the year last year in the night race here, but here has a good run going in 7th position. The Copter Cam is going to zoom out to show you this entire facility here. The car is completely almost encircling this half-mile concrete racetrack.
Well, they will as quick as these cars get single file instead of trying to race side by side. How silly is that?
There's the leader way back in the pack the last time coming off turn 4. Stacy Compton got very high, but he managed to gather it back in and kept going.
Now the 22, 6, and 99 are nose to tail. That's 8th, 9th, and 10th. Ward Burton, Martin, and Jeff Burton.
See Robbie Gordon on the 8th on the racetrack as he comes back on the racetrack. Complete some more laps. This is the battle for 9th and 10th. In 9th place, Mark Martin is the highest place Jack Roush car. So it looks like that Roush and these guys will probably come to Bristol and do some testing before the August race.
There's 4 cars in the top 10 last Sunday at Darlington. Roush Racing did.
Well, the points are really going to scramble after this race. Mayfield increasing 5-point positions, at least right now. You know, Valvoline donates money to Big Brothers and Big Sisters for a win, a pole for each lap led, and for a top 5. And so far, Mark's performance has netted that group over $276,000. And Mark moves up another position, going up to the 8th spot, passing Ward Burton. Now we got Ward and Jeff Brothers running nose to tail.
We've seen that a lot. We sure have, the last couple of years. We saw Bobby Hamilton pass Dale Jarrett a little bit ago. Well, here he is now, passing Steve Park. Bobby Hamilton's Kodak Chevrolet on the move. Made some good adjustments, I guess, on that car.
Oh, we got a crash. Jeff Fuller's in the wall off turn 4, and the caution flag is out. Now, Ned, there might be some room for strategy. Right sides, stay out.
Will be interesting. Certainly those that are not real happy with their race cars, if they're back 6th, 7th, or 8th, they'll probably come in and make some adjustments, get some new tires. But how about the leaders?
The 7th caution equals the number we had in this race last year, and here is the reason for caution number 7.
Looks like maybe some contact between Sterling Marlin and... Man, he almost hit me, Bob. Did you see that?
I sure did. It's a good thing you ducked. Well, pits are open. Let's see what happens here.
They're all coming.
Down to Bill Weber.
A lot of teams watched what Michael Waltrip did early in this race. Look for some to gamble on 2 tire stops. The 12, the 24, the 2 on your screen. Right sides for Mayfield. He really liked this set of tires, but they had to come get 4 more. Rights are on, lefts are going on. Tightening the mud, Mayfield's away. Jerry Punch.
Ford, Chevrolet, and Ford. Let's call Jeff Ford in the middle of your screen. They made an air pressure adjustment in the right front. Revving the engine. Here he goes. Gordon is down. Mayfield is down. Then comes Rusty Wallace and Bobby Labonte. Let's go over to John Kernan.
Mark Martin's crew already around on the left side tires. Just an air pressure adjustment as Mark asked him to please loosen the car up. Loosen the car up. Coming around on the left side. Getting the front one on. Getting all the left side. Mark is down and away.
Martin falling into the back of the line, and Jeff Gordon returns to pit road.
What's this all about? Maybe they didn't tie some lug nuts.
Hit that tire. He hit that tire overall pit road, and so he pushed the left front fender, and he came back in there trying to pull the fender out. It has also broken the brace beneath the fender. They're trying to move the brace away because the end of that brace is very, very sharp. That brace would have flopped. It could puncture the left front tire. Now, Tony Gibson literally ripped that brace off. The fender is pulled back out, but it has no brace, so it will be flapping when he goes into the corners.
And another problem for a driver who has led here today. Let's take a look at it once again. There it is.
There's that right rear tire that NASCAR keeps asking these guys to pick up. But again, in their haste to make these fast stops, they leave her laying out there. And Jeff Gordon just ran squarely in the right rear tire off the 1 car. John Kernan?
Just updating you on Mark Martin. He lost a lot of spots on pit road because some lug nuts fell off the right front tire, so it slowed down the front tire changing quite a bit. Mark dropped all the way back to 17th to Dr. Jerry Punch.
They're taking the saw to saw that fender off. They realize if that fender had no brace and will be flopping, it could potentially rub and cut that left front tire. So rather than risk that, they come in to cut a section. Tony Gibson cuts the section off. Now they got to peel it away. It'll be very sharp. You heard the response. Gordon jams the throttle and leaves pit road.
Stays on the lead lap, but again, track position so important here, and he has lost a bunch of it because of his incident on pit road.
Waiting for the fish to bite, you think about how smart your daughter has gotten and how much your son is starting to look like you, and you wonder why you never noticed until now. But you might as well head back to camp. The fish seem to be as relaxed as you are. Rediscover your family while you discover America.
Visit Endless Summer RVs, 6 miles north of Frederick on Route 15. Camping families serving families that camp.
Zieglerville Tire and Auto can do a whole lot more than sell you a great set of tires for your car. And if you don't bring it to a shop with certified mechanics and over 60 years combined experience like us, well, it could change everything. Because we're an authorized Napa Car Care Center and an American Car Care Center with coast-to-coast warranty protection. So when you bring your car, truck, or van to us, it changes everything. Not to mention the tires you'll drive away on.
Hey, nice tires.
Zieglerville Tire and Auto, just like the name said.
The playoffs start right now because they're on the outside looking in. Jeremy Roenick and the Coyotes would love to play the spoiler. Coyotes, Mighty Ducks, tonight at 8, only on ESPN. This is the game.
Tickets to Philadelphia will be handed out Monday as the top 4 seeds in this year's Women's NCAA Tournament compete for Final Four berths. Exclusive primetime coverage begins Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern.
If anybody watches these NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series races, they'll understand what trading paint is. We definitely do a lot of bumping and rubbing with 5 to go. It is the very best racing far as side-by-side competitive racing, I think, going.
Once the green flag drops, there's no friends on the racetrack.
I come in and race against these guys, and they kick me, they run over me, they tear the sides off my truck.
The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. This is NASCAR.
Green is back out at Bristol Motor Speedway as Jeremy Mayfield gets a very good start and pulls away a little bit from his teammate Rusty Wallace. Mark Martin in heavy traffic because of pitting on the backstretch. Way back in 13th spot, but there is just a huge amount of traffic around him.
Also, Sterling Marlin, another loser in that last pit stop. They made a huge chassis adjustment on the 40 car, and he fell all the way back to about the 16th position on the restart. You see Sterling Marlin battling along with Ricky Rudd, Michael Waltrip.
And the 24 car, Gordon, is also back there. He is the 17th, but tries to gain a spot now from Marlin.
And Marlin's trying to use the 66 car of Darrell Waltrip as a kind of a moving pick. So far it's working.
Another good run for one of the Ray Vestas Rookie of the Year candidates. In fact, the point leader in the standings coming into this race, Matt Kenseth, and he is in the top 5. Good run, John.
Matt Kenseth's crew decided to opt for only a right-side tire change because they've been here on the back stretch. Only a little over 100 laps remaining in the race. The car has been just a little bit tight throughout the day. So Robbie Reiser made the call for right-side tires only to get him some track position. And right now it's paying off with Matt running in the 5th position.
Well, maybe Jack Roush and Mark and Jeff and all these guys will have to go to Robbie Reiser and Matt Kenseth to get their setup for the another Jack Roush car, and he is had a great run going so far.
The highest finishing rookie in a couple of races this year, and is the best to this point in this one.
Jeff Fuller got in the wall the last lap, didn't he, Bob?
Yeah, he got the wall up in turn number 4 and came down the straightaway very slowly and almost got tangled up with Mayfield and Wallace.
Yeah, here they come off turn 4, and you see him coming down across the racetrack, and Rusty has to go very low on the racetrack to dodge him.
Less than 100 laps to go now, 402 complete. Last week, Ward Burton won for the second time in his career. Jeremy Mayfield, the leader of this race, has won only once in his career. That was at Pocono in June of '98.
And it looks like he's going to have to battle his teammate Rusty Wallace, who is a master here at Bristol, if he's going to win this one.
And Rusty's car is just fast right now. As it goes in the corner, Jeremy goes up, and Rusty Wallace just goes right to the front.
Did Rusty lead today?
Rusty has led 1 lap.
So that wasn't to let him get 5 bonus points. Right.
Mayfield has led 124, Gordon 224 to this point. We've had 8 leaders and 15 lead changes in the first 405 laps.
Flip Log Day 19. Traveling the circuits of NASCAR.
Darlington, Daytona, Talladega, Charlotte. The drivers, the cars, the action, bumper to bumper, mano-a-mano at speeds of over 200 miles an hour, with us covering every heart-pounding, adrenaline-pumping moment at the incredible speeds of over
35 miles an hour, fast as it goes.
What? It's a good thing they keep going around in circles.
Well, some days, I'm not a foreman, I'm a circus juggler. I got product coming off the lines, warehouses filling up. Sometimes things get a little crazy. I call Nations Rent. Whatever I need, whenever I need it, they bring it out. Newer stuff, names I know. So it works. And it's one less ball I got to keep in the air.
Nations Rent carries JLG, boom and scissor lifts, and vertical mast products.
They make it happen for me.
Nations Rent. 1-800-NO-SWEAT.
Tonight, ESPN Classic presents another real classic. Prepare yourself for the most bitter rivalry the Scream has ever known. Offside. Is Tony Randall the mastermind of a fiendish cult? And why isn't Patrick Swayze dirty dancing? It's real classics. It's Offsides. Tonight at 9. Only on ESPN Classic. To get ESPN Classic, call 1-800-CLASSIC today.
Back at Bristol, where another caution is flying. This one because of a spin off corner number 4 by Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Looks like he's got in the wall with the right side, and he was unable to steer it, and he hit the wall. He really hit the wall with the left side.
What a tough afternoon it's been for Earnhardt Jr.
Now, they've only been a few laps. How many of these cars will pit this time? And will Jeff Gordon and these guys trying to get some track position just change 2 tires? Let's see if we can see what happened to the 33 car is very high on the racetrack. Jeff Gordon goes by, and ooh, a little contact. A little contact. I think that was Brett Bonine, maybe, that got in the back of Dale Jr.
And then a heavy contact with the inside wall. Bill?
Well, they're all back on pit road. Jeremy Mayfield again is getting 4 tires, no adjustments to his car. Their last stop was 15.37. This is going to be their longest stop of the day. They had trouble on the left front. Jerry.
Rusty Wallace, 4 tires, no adjustments. He's down and away, and we have 3 wide trying to leave pit road. Another tire in the way down there, as Matt Kenseth is in the pits over at John Kernan.
Matt Kenseth and his team did not want to see this caution come out because Matt had just radioed in a few laps ago and said, hey, the car is the best it's been all day. They did a 2-tire change last time. This time they're going to do a 4-tire change. Michael Waltrip and Sterling Marlin both did 2-tire changes, and they will beat Kenseth off pit road.
Well, let's take a look once again at what happened here off the 4th corner as Joe Nemechek came down, and there was contact. Yep, you're right, Benny.
Yeah, just a little contact in the left rear with Brett Bodine and Dale Jr. And when he got him sideways, when he had to steer the thing back to the right, never see Nemechek, the Oakwood Homes, and right there you see when he has to turn it back to the right, he just turns right to Rick. That is hard contact. And Stacy Compton just barely got by. Now, this is how the deal first started. Trickle goes in the corner, gets in the back of Nemechek, and puts him up high. Now we'll check the Bud onboard camera and see his little deal.
Oh, man. Down to Jerry Punch.
First of all, hard lick. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just ran out of room. The 33 got pushed high, and I was trying to get underneath him, and I had a car underneath me, and I crowded him, and I just, typical Bristol. It's been a bad day from the start, man. This thing had no luck. We've been 3 weeks in a row. We've had a great race car and had bad luck, so I'm tired of it.
I saw you hit the outside ball and inside. You grabbed your shoulders, you climbed out. Both shoulders are all right?
Yeah, I'm just sore, just, you don't bang into something that hard and see how it feels, man. It don't feel good.
We'll let him go. Dale Earnhardt Jr., not a very good couple of weeks. Tough break at Darlington, and again today he hits twice from the outside and the inside wall.
Here's a Coke pit summary showing you that Ward Burton has gained 7 positions here to put himself in the lead. Jarrett gains 2. Rusty Wallace loses a couple. And now we'll take a look at those running 6 through 10. Park staying the same. Bobby Hamilton maintaining his 9th position.
Boy, Mayfield let second to seventh.
Well, I tell you what, business is going to really pick up now and then.
Apparently, Ward Burton just changed 2 tires that got him that position. Now, I say that he was back about 6th or 7th position when the caution came out. DJ did a 15.10 second pit stop, and that's what got him up there that good.
Jarrett is second. Then Rusty, then Bobby Labonte, and Terry Labonte.
Oh, we see Ward Burton get pushed up high by Robert Presley, and here comes Dale Jarrett for the lead.
And he did lead that lap just by a bumper.
And Rusty Wallace trying to take over that second spot.
Robert's staying out there. He's, of course, is still that 1 lap down, so he's hoping to get a caution here real quick.
And actually, not Taylor in the lead lap now, but he has been a fighter all day. Jarrett, our 9th leader of the afternoon.
Rusty Wallace trying to take a look on the inside. No opening there.
Down to Bill Weber.
Well, a few laps ago, I asked Todd Perrin, how's your race car? He goes, well, it's not very fast. It's been loose, then it's been tight. But on that last pit stop, 4 tires and fuel in 14.75 seconds. The car may not be fast. The crew sure was. Jerry.
Ward Burton, 2 tires only in that last pit stop. 2 tires. They made a wedge adjustment. Ward says the nose will not stick in the middle of the corner. The nose wants to slide on the race car. The wedge, apparently the wedge adjustment has made a difference, and Ward's able to make the pass beneath Robert Presley. By the way, on the restart, Ward says, we owe him one. Let's go over to John Turner.
Sitting here on the backstretch, opted for track position after seeing several people take right side tires only on pit stops. So that's what they did. The car was a little bit tight, so they made a wedge adjustment. Sterling currently running in the 10th spot. There goes Rusty. Take the lead, Bob.
Yep, let's see if he can, he gets the lead from Dale Jarrett.
And Jarrett quickly tries to get down to the bottom. Some contact between him and Ward Burton.
And they all back off the gas and get everything back under control.
But Rusty Wallace is back at the front of the field. He's in his 498th NASCAR Winston Cup race and has won 49 times. His next win gives him 50 and ties him with some very famous race drivers like Junior Johnson and Ned Jarrett.
What's going on?
Hey.
Wow, this is nice. But I thought Stacy said if you bought new tools, she gets a new dining room set.
Yeah, she did.
So where are the table and chairs?
You're standing on them.
Fine woodworking tools from Rigid. Name proven by pros since 1923. Take our portable table saw. Made in the USA, its compact design makes it great anywhere. Rigid. Buy them at the Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning.
It's my duty to inform you that you've been charged with murder.
Murder, sir?
Tommy Lee Jones.
What do you think? I think they ought to crucify you.
Samuel L. Jackson.
The crowd in front of the embassy had no weapons, did they, Colonel?
Yes, they had weapons. They were killing my Marines.
This is a tape from the embassy.
What if the crowd hit fire first? Forget this guy. I don't want it to exist.
Withholding evidence is no less evil than charging my client with murder.
Rules of Engagement, rated R. Starts April 7th in theaters everywhere.
You keep an eye on the websites your kids are looking at. You make sure your wife's cell phone battery is fully charged. And you haven't missed a day of work in 12 years. So it comes as no surprise that your auto parts are AC Delco. When the right way is the only way. AC Delco Automotive Parts.
Una chela?
Chela. You know, I'll never understand Mexican women.
Why? We're just like Puerto Rican women.
Well, when I want a Miller Lite, I just say hija, and you say.
Una chela, por favor.
And I drink mine straight from the bottle. You?
I like mine in a tall, slender glass.
Well, I drink Miller Lite because it tastes great.
And I because it has a smooth, dare I say, sexy finish.
I'm beginning to understand.
Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
Una chela, por favor.
This is the face of erectile dysfunction. So is this. And this. Fact is, 1 in 3 men have some form of ED, a medical condition also called impotence that affects men of every age, race, and background. What else do all these men have in common? They all faced up to their problem and got help. If you're experiencing ED, there's no need to hide your face. Just talk to your doctor. It's the best way to get educated about ED and how to treat it.
ESPN's presentation of the Food City 500 presented by RedShed.com from Bristol being brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, official beer of NASCAR. Hey, race fans, this Bud's for you. By Enterprise Rent-A-Car, call 1-800-RENT-A-CAR. Pick Enterprise, we'll pick you up. And by Nations Rent. For construction rental equipment, call 1-800-NO-SWEAT. Well, we're under caution again, ladies and gentlemen, here at Bristol. And this one was started with Fuller up in the second corner, and it will eventually involve another car.
Never see Fuller, the right front tire goes flat, and he just goes head-on in the wall, and then all the cars come by. And I would guess there was some contact behind. Let's listen.
Mark Martin runs up on Kenny Schrader.
Yeah, he was trying not to spin out Kenny Schrader and spun himself out.
Yep, exactly what happened.
So Mark Martin involved in a spin that drops him back to the last car on the lead lap in the 17th position. More in a moment.
Introducing a new race car by Team Monte Carlo.
There's a proper way to introduce a race car. First, you show it from the front. Next, you show it from the side. Finally, you show it from the rear.
Introducing the all-new NASCAR Chevy Monte Carlo.
Not bad. Next time, show them a little more side.
The cars more champions depend on. Chevy, we'll be there.
Send your phone company a message. Join us at phonefree.com, and calling long distance will be totally free. And you know something? So will you. Phonefree.com. Let freedom ring.
Okay, ma'am. You claim Jeff Burton led you to believe the Exide Select battery was only for race cars?
That's right, Your Honor.
And Mr. Burton?
Not guilty, Your Honor. All I said was the Exide 99 team needs a tough, reliable battery out on the track.
Hey, I need a reliable battery, too.
But, Your Honor,
That's enough.
The Exide Select battery. It's not just for race cars.
Award for the plaintiff.
They go like 200 miles an hour. Have you ever gone that fast, Dad?
No, but I sure would like to. Well, let's go see what you're made of.
Really?
Grab an ice-cold Coke, and you could win a trip to the Coca-Cola Racing Family Reunion, including race tickets, pit passes, and a chance to ride with a Racing Family driver. Only from Coca-Cola. Enjoy.
We are go for launch.
Thrusters engaged.
Want to be an astronaut? Enter the Pennzoil Synthetic Mission to Mars sweepstakes. Buy 6 quarts of Pennzoil Synthetic with Penzane, then mail in for tickets to see Touchstone Pictures' Mission to Mars. And you're automatically entered to win a grand prize trip to outer space.
Appears to be a geological anomaly. Oh!
Honey, I need to get in there.
Access denied.
Enter the Mission to Mars sweepstakes from Pennzoil Synthetic. It's rocket science.
Just as you rejoin us, the green flag comes out. We are back to racing, and up front it's Jimmy Spencer getting a lap back. The leader of the race is Rusty Wallace.
Let's see if Jeff Fenton knows they're giving that Spencer. No, somebody else got black flag. I thought Spencer was getting the black flag. He was just a nose in front of the 3 car, you understand. Dale Earnhardt is getting the black flag.
And someone is smoking in the field. I think it's Darrell Walter. Yes, he is off the pace on the backstretch.
Drops down to the apron of the track and heads for the pit road. Darrell Waltrip, 31st position. Dale Earnhardt was down 3 wide at the bottom of the racetrack when the green flag came out. He is 153 laps down, and I'm sure that was what the thinking of NASCAR was when they black flagged him to come in for a stop-and-go penalty.
It's not going to hurt him too bad.
No, that's right.
Got him out of all that traffic.
Jimmy Spencer there is back on the lead lap in 17th position. Mark Martin, who spun, apparently did make a pit stop.
Changed some tires. He is a lap down. He just passed Jeremy Mayfield and goes up and right on the back bumper of Bobby Labonte.
Boy, Rusty Wallace is having all kind of problems getting around Jimmy Spencer. He is laying the bumper to him. Not too hard yet, but he is getting a little anxious. Kenny Wallace goes real high.
Contact there. Nope. Spencer moves up the racetrack. Let these guys go. But this guy, Rusty Wallace,
he's going to race hard, but he's up there in that groove that's not quite as fast. He said, wow, I got a run coming off of there. Let me try that again. Get that down on the inside in front of DJ. I'll let Rusty get away.
Rusty is driving a brand new car here this weekend. The car is a Penske chassis, but it's a copy of a Hopkins chassis, and the caution comes out again, and we have debris on the backstretch. And this is caution number 10. And that equals the number of cautions we had in the night race.
Spencer don't like, he could have got his lap back here right here, but he doesn't like this. They're talking probably with their hands.
Let's hope not with their steering wheels. All right, we'll take a break under caution once again and be back in a moment to Bristol.
For the largest selection of quality automobiles in town, check out the deals at Best Automotive in Hanover. Best Automotive is the local source for new Pontiacs, Oldsmobiles, Cadillacs, and GMC trucks. Best also carries pre-owned vehicles of every make and model. With Best, you will save time and money. Stop in and check out our incredible selection, or visit our website at www.youwillpayless.com. Best Automotive. Nobody beats a best deal.
In this unstable world we live in, it's nice to know some things are reliable and secure. Balker Motors, family-owned and operated for over 76 years. Balker Motors, over 29 Chrysler 5-star awards for excellence. Balker Motors, selling Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge cars and trucks. Balker Motors, 4 miles south of Spring Grove, on the hill in Jefferson. Balker Motors, where people are very important.
Afterwards, the last thing you want to do is talk to the media. But we're professionals. We do our job.
Like Dan doesn't step on everyone's lines every show, whether it's me or whether it's whatever the guy's name is used to the show. But I mean, you know, he's always doing that, and it's his show.
Yeah, it's the greatest job in the world. That's what I tell you guys. But when I go home, I go into a little shell. I go down to my basement, and I sit there, and I just think. I think, what am I doing with my life?
Meet Martin Delicious, Storm Chaser. Some head for the basement. He heads for a Chevy S10. It's got advantages over Ford Ranger, like better fuel economy, a bigger bed, and standard four-wheel anti-lock brakes on every model. Because if you want to outrun Mother Nature, you need every advantage you can get. Chevy S10, Lake Isle Rock.
Bristol, with a beautiful overhead shot of this facility and the cars under caution from the Pennzoil copter cam. We should go back to green flag racing here momentarily. This most recent caution was for debris on the backstretch and at other locations around the racetrack. And they're beginning the 1 to go signal right now. There is Rusty Wallace, who is the leader. Dale Jarrett second. We did have some cars on the lead lap make a pit stop during this caution. There's Steve Park at the bottom of your screen. Also,
Mike Skinner.
Yep.
Mike Skinner, Terry Labonte.
Terry Labonte came back in the second time after having gone back out. So they'll have fresh tires on. Don't know how much that will have to do with it. Less than 50 laps to go.
Skinner just changed right sides, gets back out quickly.
Mike's had a good run, been in the lead lap all day, currently ranked in the 12th position as we get set once again to go back to green flag racing.
Second car on the inside line is Mark. Robert Presley, the 77 car, and Mark Martin. Let's see if Mark can get up and contest with Rusty to get that lap back.
Presley 17th, Martin in 18th spot. Team cars on the lead lap. There are coming up on 45 laps to go.
Oh, almost. There was a little contact. DJ's second spot probably is Ward Burton trying to get alongside.
There's contact between Ward and the 88 of Jarrett.
And probably not only second, but probably third, fourth, and fifth. Well, he gets down in front of Bobby Labonte. Bobby says, here I am.
And right behind Bobby, Jeremy Mayfield. That's a battle for the fourth spot. Jeremy and Jeff and Gordon, I'll spit it out. Jeff Gordon stopped on one of these caution flags when these other guys did not stop, so they have the benefit of their tires being a little fresher.
Up comes Bobby Labonte in the NTNA Pontiac. Interstate Batteries Pontiac. And he gets to the inside. Tries to.
And here's Jeremy trying to get on the inside of Bobby.
DJ's car seems to be pushing up a little bit, coming off the 2 in particular. He's just not getting a good run up there.
Meanwhile, Rusty Wallace has gotten 3 seconds ahead of this group as they battle. Oh, a little contact there. And they're battling hard because right now is when to start paying the money. 40 laps from now anyway.
Labonte with a good run now off the corner. Still cannot get to the inside. Now he does.
And here comes Jeremy. Jeremy's there. He takes the spot away. Now there's Gordon back there. Can he get to the inside? No, he can't. And look at Johnny Benson back there trying to get on the inside of Jeff Gordon.
Benson just having a great run here, and we got a spin and a crash down in turn 2. 3 cars involved in this incident, including Rick Mass, John Andretti.
And there's one going down pit road.
That's Dave Blaney back going down pit road, also involved.
There's the badly beaten car of Dave Blaney. And so once again, for the 11th time, we have a caution waving over Bristol Motor Speedway. 3 cars involved in this one.
Policeman, fireman, the mayor of my town. The dude's hanging off with a paper truck. Mr. Chang, down at the local deli, sells me morning coffee, wishes me good luck. This is for the people in my neighborhood. They help me through the day and make me feel good. This spot's for you. And you, and you, and you. This spot's for you.
keep you looking.
Yeah.
A to Z wheel cleaner. From you to one.
Celebrating by Team Monte Carlo.
Now, the first thing you've got to do is jump up here and scream and yell, woo! Make sure your hat guy forms them first, so you don't end up looking like a dork. Now, when somebody hands you one of these babies, make sure you say thanks. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, man, don't eat the check.
Want to be like Jeff Gordon? Drive the all-new Chevy Monte Carlo. The cars more champions depend on. Chevy, we'll be there.
Now without a prescription, Lamisil AT for athlete's foot. So powerful, it cures with just 1 week's use. These take 4. So powerful, 3 months later, you're still athlete's foot free. Lamisil AT, the best way to cure athlete's foot.
I've got 3 boys, and I've got to save time wherever I can. When I'm getting my oil changed at Walmart, it's great because it's right there. It's connected to the Walmart store, so I go shopping. What else do I do? We drop the car off, and then we scatter in all directions. Electronics, sports, toys, and usually my car's ready before I am. I totally trust these guys. I can get my car done, and then I can get all my shopping done at the same time.
Walmart Tire and Lube Express. Great service, great prices, and the world's most interesting waiting room.
Walmart just makes my life easier.
3-car incident has brought out the 11th caution of the race here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
We see Rick Mast walking away. And we see, man, he's walking a little gingerly, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Holding that right arm.
John Andretti also took a hard shot to the driver's side of the car.
By Rick Mast.
Apparently, he has told the pit crew that he is okay, John Andretti has. But watch and see, this is really hard contact.
It looks like that John Andretti right there gets in the back of Blaney going in down in turn 1. Now, they both spin. Cars go by, and here comes the 41 of Rick Mast. And, man, that was hard.
Lifted the car off all 4 wheels there for a moment. And for a while, Mast's car was right up against John's, and they couldn't get him out. And now they continue to work the extrication process. Again, we told you that Andretti did radio the pit crew and say that I'm okay. Let's hope that he is, and we will keep an eye on that situation in the next few moments. Back with more in a moment from Bristol.
It's cool, it's fast, it's easy to use. It's the online automotive superstore with millions of brand name parts and accessories to choose from. Replacement parts, performance parts, free shipping too. It's the place on the web for people who really love their wheels. www.wrenchhead.com. The proud sponsor of Monster Jam. Wrenchhead.com. Parts online all the time.
Conseco, NASCAR's official financial services provider. Step up.
Cool cars.
Cool boots.
Introducing the next generation of Red Wings with Comfort Force. Red Wing Shoes, proud sponsor of Petty Enterprises Racing.
Check this out.
I got a bulb, but this will last you 2 years. Guaranteed.
Philips, light bulbs that last. They fought in World War II so you could rest easy. And now you can honor them when you rest at Super 8 by supporting a company that's helping build the World War II Memorial in Washington, D.C. Super 8, all the room you want.
ESPN's coverage of the Food City 500 from Bristol Motor Speedway, being brought to you by Polaris ATVs. If you're going to ride the best, Polaris. And by Super 8 Motels. Super 8, all the room you want. Should be going back to green here in just a moment. We want to remind you that we will not televise the race at Texas next week. However, you can keep up to date on what's happening there with Bill Weber's NASCAR Today, which can be seen on ESPN2 next Sunday afternoon at 1:30 Eastern Time. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of Go Network, go.com. John Andretti did get out of the car under his own power and was able to walk to the ambulance, so that is very good news. But, man, he took a shot, didn't he? Well, we thought they were going back to green. They are not. It'll be at least a couple of more laps before we go back to racing, so we'll take another break.
I'm not a purple dinosaur. I'm not 64 bits. And I don't play pro ball. What I am is a mentor. Not a psychologist, but I'm a listener. I don't have all the answers. I'm a mentor. I make a difference. This is my reward.
Kids who have mentors are less likely to do drugs. Be a mentor.
Meet the inspiration behind the truck. We thought of them when we gave it the most powerful V8 of any 4x4 pickup. We thought of them when we gave it a bigger extended cab than Ford F-150 or Dodge Ram. Maybe that's why Chevy Silverado owners think so highly of the truck. Now ranked most appealing full-size pickup by J.D. Power and Associates. Silverado. It's the truck from Chevy.
You haven't missed a thing. They've just taken the green flag, and here we go once again with Rusty Wallace out in front and Ward Burton running in second position. Ward Burton's best career finish on a short track was at Martinsville in September of '97. He finished 7th. He's running second here today. A lot of traffic coming on corner number 2. Everyone survives.
Dale Jarrett, something wrong with his car. He's caused all that jam up that we saw over there.
And there's something wrong with the car on the outside. That's Joe Nemechek's car. Looks like he's gotten in the outside retaining wall. Meanwhile, Rusty Wallace, Ward Burton comes by, completes another lap.
24 laps to go.
24 to go.
Dale Jarrett continues to fall back as his car just drifts up in the corners. He probably thinks he has a tire going down and could have Joe Nemechek into the pits.
Michael Waltrip has had a very good race here this afternoon, staying on the lead lap all day long. He's currently in 11th position. There is Michael.
There's Michael Waltrip, the nation's rent now. Bobby Labonte trying to get on the catch the 10 car of Johnny Benson, battle for 4th position.
Well, Benson just passed Labonte a couple laps ago. He is really on the move.
And we see the 1 car going by 99. That's for 7th position.
John Kernan standing by with Rick Mast, who was involved in that incident a few laps ago.
Bob, Rick has been checked out in the infield care center. Rick, it was a hard hit out there. You all right?
You don't realize how hard you hit on these short tracks, but, thankfully John's okay. He just like me, a little sore. We'll be sore tomorrow, but one of those deals, man, Bristol is so fast. You get in a wreck, the last thing we want to do is get John and Trevor sore, but try to miss him and just get more, man. Thanks everybody for it.
All right, Rick Mast is okay, but out of the race.
Back here in 8th and 9th position, Jeff Burton and Sterling Marlin. There's the 5 of Terry Labonte, who is in 10th position.
Looking outside.
Terry Labonte's outside. Keith Simmons talking to Sterling Marlin, telling him that Terry Labonte's on the outside. And they believe they have something broken in the 40 car, like a shock absorber or something. We can see that Sterling certainly doesn't have the speed he has before. But Terry Labonte, they worked on that car the last caution flag, made numerous pit stops, and it's working for him. Look as he goes by Jeff Burton and moves into the 8th position.
Terry Labonte has won here at Bristol on 2 different occasions, most recently in August of 1995. Gary Dehart, his crew chief, will be 52 years old on Monday, tomorrow. Now here is Johnny Benson, who is in 4th position and knocking on the 3rd place door. Johnny's best short track finish was here at Bristol in '98, where he finished in 5th, so he too has his best short track finish going.
And you can see 13, just 13 laps to go.
And Benson is going to get the opportunity here as Mayfield slides up the track just a little bit, and Benson takes the 3rd spot. Now a good battle among the 24 of Gordon, the 1 of Park, and the 5 of Terry Labonte as Dale Jarrett goes a lap down in 16th position. The best short track finish for the number 1 car of Steve Park. 12th at Martinsville. He has his best short track finish going for him.
And when Jeff, you ever see Labonte on the inside? And he takes over that 7th position from Park.
Man, he is on the move, isn't he?
I'm telling you, wherever they changed all those pit stops, it really is working for Labonte.
But he's running out of laps. He's going to get another spot here from Jeff Gordon, or he's going to try at least. And he will. He'll move up to 6th position.
Now can Gordon get back down and close that spot he did before Park gets the job in there? Almost in contact between Gordon and Steve Park. That was not the checkered flag, folks. That was just in the flag stand waving.
John Kernan has an update on Dale Jarrett, who just lost a lap.
Bob, I just talked to his car owner, Robert Yates, and Robert says the car simply will not turn. It's almost as if it's got a flat right front tire going down. It just will not turn in the corners. So DJ trying to wrestle it to the end of this race to hopefully make it to the end.
Steve Park is going to pick up the 7th position from Gordon.
And that's Jeff Burton trying to take that spot away. Something happened to Jeff Gordon's car when he ran over that tire. I mean, he had one of the better cars all day long, but when he hit that tire line on pit road, his car has just not been the same since.
Jeff back to 8th position. He has led the most laps and will get the bonus points for leading the most here today. Jeff Gordon will. He was out front for 224 laps before he ran over the tire on pit road. Well, the laps count down now. There are less than 5 to go at Bristol. Here are the Labonte brothers now running together. Bobby in the 5th position and Terry in the 6th.
Well, those new tires seems to really be working for Terry Labonte. He was all the way back at the back of the lead pack when this race restarted and worked his way up trying to take over 5th now.
He's on the inside. He's got a run on his brother. And there he goes in the 5th position. I think Gary Dehart will be the most popular man in NASCAR tomorrow. His phone is going to ring off the hook because every crew chief is going to call him and say, what'd you guys do on that last stop?
If he only had a few more laps, it'd be interesting to see what he could do. Johnny Benson running in the 2nd position, just 2¼ seconds behind. And he, too, wishes there were about 20 or 25 more laps to go to see what he could do, if anything, with Rusty Wallace. But Rusty has been so good here this afternoon. He's on his final tour of the half mile at Bristol. For the checkered flag, becoming the 10th driver to win 50 NASCAR Winston Cup races or more, and its first victory since a year ago here at Bristol. Rusty Wallace wins the Food City 500, and the field comes down to take the checkered flag. Bill?
Robin Pemberton is right now on the radio talking to his crew chief, getting high fives from his crew. Tommy Baldwin, last week's winning crew chief, comes over. Congratulations. It's been a battle to get back to victory lane, but you did it here today, Robin.
I'll tell you what, man. It's been a hard winter on all the guys. They've worked hard. We've built all new cars again for about the 3rd year in a row. It's, tell you what, my hat's off to all the families that put up with all this stuff all winter long. And, you know, let's go to Homestead. Let's see what Roger can do.
This was a big one for you, though. You really felt you needed to get to victory lane today.
We needed to get here today. I'll tell you, this is one of our best racetracks. It's a brand new car. It's never hit the racetrack till a week ago. And, man, it's just a team effort, great team effort.
It's the 50th career win for Rusty Wallace. It's the Rusty Wallace of old, guys.
His very first Winston Cup win came here 14 years ago, and Rusty has won for the 8th time here at Bristol Motor Speedway.
Waiting for the fish to bite, you think about how smart your daughter has gotten and how much your son is starting to look like you, and you wonder why you never noticed until now. But you might as well head back to camp. The fish seem to be as relaxed as you are. Rediscover your family while you discover America.
Visit Endless Summer RVs, 6 miles north of Frederick on Route 15. Camping families serving families that camp.
Nobody, but nobody beats a best deal. Best Automotive gives you a GM Quick Lube Plus oil change in 29 minutes or it's free. We provide quick, courteous service with more than 140 combined years of GM Goodrich Service Plus. So for the fastest oil change around, come to Best Automotive.
On track and who needs some fine-tuning. The 2000 Kart FedEx Champion Series opens on the oval by the beach. Toyota presents the Grand Prix of Miami today at 4:30 on ESPN.
8 remain. 1 will prevail. The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship Regional Finals Monday on ESPN and ESPN2.
He enters a very elite group of race drivers. Rusty Wallace emerges from his car as the winner here at Bristol. Here's the McDonald's Winner's Circle interview with Dr. Punch.
How about that one? April 6, 1986, your very first victory came right here, and now, as it gives Jeff Burdick win number 50. Congratulations.
It meant so much to me. Now, I tried for so long to get that number 50, and I got it at my favorite racetrack. I mean, I love all these racetracks, but Bristol's been my home. I got the car dealerships right down the street, and what about this crew, man? The pit stops were fast today, and we worked and worked and worked. I bet we changed more chassis stuff and finally got it nailed perfect at the very end and drove off from it, and it was great. You know, I was real concerned about, well, I should pit there at the end, but decided to stay out because everything was going so good. But, man, I'd like to thank Miller, my sponsors, Mr. Penske. Hope he had a great down Homestead today. We had a good one here today for him. But what a great victory for all the sponsors and all the team. I'm so excited I can't talk.
We heard you make so many adjustments on the car, air pressure, wedge, a track bar. Every pit stop you kept making changes, and the car got better and better. When did you know that you were going to have the car to beat?
Well, with about 75 to go, when I got in front of Jeremy, Jeremy let me go by to get 5 points. And I thought he was going to be able to get right past me, but he started getting loose. And then when Gordon had his problem there, that helped me a little bit. And then all of a sudden the car really started handling, though. I was loose all day long. We brought some air up in the left rear tire, put some wedge in it, dropped some air out of the left front, dropped the track bar. Just kept doing stuff like that. And, man, that's so hard I just took off. It just is flying at the end of the day. So I just can't say enough. I'm proud. It's a special day. I feel like today is like my very first day. What was it, 1986 when I won the 500 here.
We're talking about the old Rusty, but there is Robin Pemberton. Hey, how about this? This is the Rusty of old, huh? Just don't let up.
He was up on the wheel all day long. We had a good car. You know, we didn't have the best track position at times, but he hung in there, and we had to work our way through it. He did a great job.
Thanks, buddy.
Will there be a very small party, Rusty?
You kidding, man? I'm sponsored by a beer company, for Christ's sakes. But it's going to be contained, and nobody's going to be driving. It's going to be right down there at the infield of my bus. We're going to have a rock and roll time.
All right. Today, 43-year-old Rusty Wallace turns 50, and here comes Jeremy Mayfield in to give him a big hug, his teammate, to congratulate Rusty, who also gets away from Dale Earnhardt, who comes to the fence in Victory Lane to congratulate his buddy, Rusty Wallace.
Mayfield finished 4th here this afternoon, and here is the elite list of the drivers who have won 50 or more NASCAR Winston Cup races. And Rusty joins today Junior Johnson and our own Ned Jarrett as a 50-race winner NASCAR Winston Cup competition. We have a lot more from Bristol Motor Speedway. Stay with us.
Wow, I didn't see that in the store. This must be new.
This sure beats standing in line.
Oh, he's gonna love this.
Jeff Burton and Frank Stoddard.
Could I have your autograph?
All the merchandise, all the drivers, all the time. The NASCAR online store at NASCAR.com. It's official.
16.8. We are going to have to work on that. What does it mean to be in the winner's circle? Everything.
Winner's Circle brings you NASCAR's greatest moments.
Winning a race is what it's all about.
Captured in incredible die-cast collectibles.
This is definitely a team sport.
We captured the teamwork.
Competition is so tough.
We've got the men and their machines.
I understand what I want out of my race car.
If you need the speed,
See you in the circle.
the power,
There is no better place to find it.
the passion, then you've got to look for the circle.
Join us in the circle.
Winner's circle.
I see a little silhouette of a can. Mountain Dew, time to do the slam dunk go. Citrus taste and crunching, very, very exciting me. Fantastico, 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 Figaro. Here we go.
For a shine you can't stop looking at?
Nice.
Wet Tire Shine from Eagle One.
Hold it right there, Tooth Fairy.
Hand over the bag and no one gets hurt.
How do you plan on paying off your bills? A Conseco home equity loan can consolidate your debt into one low payment. Conseco, step up.
Polaris has sold more automatic ATVs than everyone else combined. And to celebrate building their 1 millionth automatic, they're giving $1 million to someone who buys a new Polaris ATV this year. It could be you. The Polaris millionth automatic $1 million giveaway. The chase is on. See your Polaris dealer for contest details.
Juan Montoya begins defense of his 1999 Kart FedEx Championship Series championship. But there are other contenders that will be shooting for him, including Michael Andretti. Their first race of the year 2000 is coming up next as part of a triple header of racing on ESPN and ESPN2. The Grand Prix of Miami. The third part of the triple header is the Dodge California 250 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on ESPN2 at 7 o'clock tonight. Outstanding job here by Johnny Benson and others this afternoon. Benson finished in second position. Ward Burton, last week's winner, finished in the third spot. Terry Labonte gave Hendrick Motorsports its first top 5 finish of the year 2000. Take a look at the rest of the unofficial results here this afternoon at Bristol in the Food City 500 presented by WrenchHead.com.
See, DJ had some kind of problem. We finished back one lap down, and a lot of cars fell out of the race today, and a lot of cars spent some time in the garage area. John Kernan, you must be with a very happy guy.
A very, very happy guy. In fact, Benny, yesterday in Happy Hour, you pointed out how Johnny Benson was able to keep his car down on the line in the turns, and you knew he was going to have a good run today. And Johnny, what a fantastic finish for you guys.
I tell you what, when Benny said that, a couple people come down and said, I go, man, you got to be kidding me, you know. It was pretty good. James Ince did a tremendous job with his setup, Gary Putnam. All the pit stops were awesome. Man, I just can't be any happier, you know. The car really did. It drove pretty good. It wasn't perfect, but I'd like to say it drove pretty good, drove better than most of the cars out there today. And just got to be real happy for Lycos. All the guys at the shop, man, they built a brand new race car to come here to Bristol out of all places. So, but it ended up good. Like I say, they did an awesome job all day long. And I'm real happy to be here at Tyler Jet Motorsports.
But, you know, we saw you working your way through the field throughout the race. But there at the end, it was like all of a sudden, to quote Benny Parsons, it looked like you'd been shot out of a canyon there. Where'd you come from there?
James has beat me up all night, all day. He's like, okay, 80%. All I want is 80% out of you today. And I'm looking at him. You don't tell a driver 80%, you know. I told him I'll give him 90. So we kind of hung out. I mean, for Bristol, it wasn't hanging out, but it just was patient all day long, you know. And he says, man, we'll get in the top 10 and be okay. And then a little pressure later, he goes, you know, I've never finished out of the top 10 in this pit stall he's got. I said, man, you're killing me. So, but it was good. They made some great calls. Pit stops are great all day long. Real smooth, consistent, and you know, we didn't come in there at the end. I know Rusty and them guys took on 2. We did take on 4, and we stayed out. And the reason why we were pretty good at the end, a lot of guys took on 2 tires, and there again, James made a great call on taking 4. And we lost a couple spots, but it paid off in the long run.
Johnny Benson very happy after a second-place run at Bristol.
Back in victory lane, a huge day for Team Penske. Team Penske Cranifus. Rusty Wallace wins it. Great day for your teammate, Jeremy, but also a nice run for you, finishing 4th.
Man, we had a great day. That's what we needed, you know. It's been nice to win and try to give this guy a run for his money, but to come home, you know, top 5, this team needed that, to get a good solid run underneath their belt and go from there.
He said you were kind enough to move over and let him take the lead. Then you had a little problem. I guess you had a problem on pit road.
I didn't know that was going to happen. If I'd known that, we might have waited later, you know. But he had a great car. I mean, his car was good as mine all day, and just track position got us at the end and enabled him to keep going. But I would love to see his first and second either way.
Hey, this teamwork thing's working pretty well in the year 2000. I think it's going to catch on.
Anybody that says it's not working in 2000 is crazy. Yeah, we struggled last year, but him and I have been working hard, and it just goes to show that he had his Cranifus chassis. He did his best to get it handling right. He had it flying. We had our Penske chassis, had it flying. When this guy says it's right, it's right. And when I say it's right, hopefully it's right. So when we get finally on the common chassis, I think you really see do some hard damage to these cats out here. But hell of a competitor, strong competitor. I looked up at one time, and he was leading. I was running second. I looked behind me. We couldn't even see the third-place car. So we were looking good. And then I turned the radio on and said, man, I could use 5 points, Jeremy. He said, no problem. He pulled over, and he said, if I get the right opportunity, you can have it. He gave me the 5 points, and boy, my car started taking off then, and his car got loose. And just a great day for both of us. And I'm proud that he was my teammate. To be able to see me get this 50th win was so important for this team and myself.
You guys go celebrate. Great day here for Team Penske, Team Cranifus, finishing 1st and 4th, Rusty Wallace and Jeremy Mayfield. Let's go to Bill Weber.
With Ward Burton, a 3rd-place finish and unofficially 2nd in the points, 41 behind. A great day at Bristol for you. Just your 3rd straight top 10 here.
I tell you what, that Cat team, they never give up. They always keep digging, and this is notoriously one of our weakest spots, and come out here with top 5. I'm really excited. Tommy made a great call right there at the end, and car was good all day. Motor ran great. Just really happy for Caterpillar and all the other sponsors.
What was his great call?
Great call was we needed some track position. We were about 8th or 9th. We came in. We had 18 laps on that right side and left side tire. We just took on 2. So we ended the race with more laps on the left side tire, but it gave me track position. And with all those late cautions, that played in our favor.
A win and a 3rd-place finish in back-to-back weeks.
Feels good. I mean, I know we got some trying times coming for our team like everybody does, but right now, I tell you what, everybody's working good together. Communication is great. We're working really hard with all the sports psychologists and just working even better on that communication, and we're ready, man. We're ready for next week.
See you, Texas. Okay, thanks. Ward Burton comes home 3rd at Bristol.
And so the 6th race of the NASCAR 2000 Winston Cup season is over. Here are the point standings. A 41-point advantage now for Bobby Labonte over Ward Burton. Martin, Jarrett, and Earnhardt complete the top 5. Today's winner, Rusty Wallace, is 6th in the points. Ricky Rudd, Jeff Burton, Terry Labonte, and Jeff Gordon complete the top 10. Coming up next, the opener of the CART FedEx Championship Series, the Grand Prix of Miami for the year 2000. And then at 7 o'clock tonight on ESPN2, the Dodge California 250 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Don't forget about NASCAR Today next week at 1:30, although we will be televising the race at Texas, Bill Weber will have the NASCAR Today program.
And folks, you better pay attention to what Bill Weber says because he's pretty clever with those words. You might miss something.
Ned, typical Bristol race with a lot of cautions, but I'm sure you welcome Rusty Wallace into that elite group that you belong to.
Certainly. We knew it was just a matter of time till he would get there. Jeff Gordon will get there very soon as well.
So that's the story, is the 155,000 people who gather here this afternoon to see this race begin to file out now. At Bristol Motor Speedway, it was in many ways a typical day where there was a lot of bumping, banging, shoving, and spinning going on, but in all of the caution periods, there were no serious injuries. We had 11 caution periods that lasted for a total of 75 laps. Dale Earnhardt was even a victim of crashing. He was leading when he was involved in an incident. 152 drivers had won in NASCAR Winston Cup competition, nearly 1,800 races. Only 9 drivers had won 50 or more races before today. Rusty Wallace adds his name to that list and becomes the 6th different winner in the year 2000. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of Go Network. Go.